From Yankee Stadium in the Bronx, New York, CBS Radio Sports presents the 1978 World Series on the CBS Radio Network and around the world through American Forces Radio.
That no team has ever come back from a 3-0 deficit. Well, the Yankees won't have to worry about that anymore, at least this season, because tonight at the stadium, they ended all the suspense and finally broke the ice by beating the Dodgers 5-1. So Los Angeles now has that 2-1 lead heading into Game 4 tomorrow at 3:30. Roy White, who hit the winning home run to capture the pennant from the Kansas City Royals this past weekend, launched a Don Sutton fastball into the right field seats to make it 1-0 in inning number 1. A 3-2 pitch, White's first World Series home run. In inning number 2, the Yankees with first and third. Bucky Dent hits a grounder to Ron Cey at third. The Dodgers get the force at second, but Greg Nettles scores to make it 2-0 Yankees. Top of the third, Bill North on third base. Bill Russell grounds it to deep short. Dent's long throw to Chris Chambliss. The runner is safe. North comes home to break the shutout. But now we turn our attention to the Greg Nettles show. What an incredible defensive display this man put on tonight. A sharp drive to Reggie Smith by Reggie Smith ended the third inning. In the fifth, bases loaded, 2 out. Steve Garvey, hard line to the third. Nettles again throws to second to end the inning. Sixth inning, again, the bases were jammed. Davey Lopes with a blistering liner to third. Another great play by Mr. Nettles. Yanks opened it up in the 7th with 3 runs. First and third, there was Thurman Munson's infield single, which brought number 3 to the plate. That was all for Sutton. Lance Routson came on, and Reggie Jackson dropped a base hit into left center, scoring Roy White with the 4th run. Munson came home on a Lou Piniella groundout. Yankees beat the Dodgers 5-1. A complete game for Ron Guidry.
And look at Lopes at second base. Lopes had at least 3 chances to make double plays, and I don't think he threw a ball on less than 1 hop to first base. It was the Dodgers not making the plays and the Yankees making the plays that I think was the difference tonight in a 5-1 ball game. And here's another thing about Ron Guidry. In, I guess, about 26, 27 wins he's had this year, including the regular season, playoffs, and this World Series game, only 3 pitchers have beaten Ron Guidry, and all of them had a first name of Mike. It was Mike Caldwell with the Brewers, it was Mike Flanagan with the Orioles, and Mike Willis with the Toronto Blue Jays. Tonight the pitcher's name was Don Sutton. Wrong name, wrong time, wrong place for him. The Yankees have come back. They trail 2-1 in this World Series, Steve.
Well, Ron, this is one of those nights where you got to just turn into a fan, I guess. Almost as exciting as 1969 when you were in the World Series, huh? All right, well, I guess that's it as far as Ron Swoboda is concerned, but it's got to be just as exciting as 1969 in terms of Mr. Swoboda.
The 1978 World Series pregame show is brought to you by B.F. Goodrich, makers of the Advantage. Just 1 tire from the best line of radios we've ever made. B.F. Goodrich, the other guys. And by the Timex Marathon Quartz Digital. It can take it like a Timex. The pitchers, as we look at them, Tommy John for the Dodgers, Ed Figueroa for the New York Yankees. We have had some rain, and Tom, it is forecast occasional showers. It doesn't look like it now, but what does that do to a pitcher? I've heard pitchers just moan when they have delays.
Well, the problem that might occur, Joe, is let's say a pitcher goes out to the bullpen, he cranks up, he comes into the game, and then we have a downpour during the game. He's got to go in the clubhouse, change his sweatshirt, sit around for 30 or 40 minutes, come out and try to get loose again. That's when he might fight some stiffness.
Well, Kurt Gowdy has been talking to Lemon, has he not?
He's been talking to him about a lot of the stuff that's going on with his pitching staff.
So let's go down to Kurt Gowdy, who asked Bob Lemon some pertinent questions about his choice.
First, Joe, let's take a look at the ground conditions. I'm in foul area, and it's a little bit muddy here. The outfield, I walk the outfield, it's soft. Jimmy Esposito, the head groundskeeper here at Yankee Stadium, says the drainage system is good and they can take more rain. It drizzled here all morning. No batting or fielding practice taken. The tarp was on all night. The infield is in good shape, slightly slow, which should be in favor of a sinker ball pitcher, Tommy Johns. He makes them hit it into the ground. If something happened here with bad weather suddenly coming on, the game was called, they would play Monday. Tuesday would be the traveling day. If they went to Game 6, it would be then Wednesday night in Los Angeles. But Greg Nettles is the big story here at Yankee Stadium. And we'll be back to talk to Greg right after this message. To say the best, the greatest, can open a flood of arguments in sport. Everywhere I've gone around Yankee Stadium today, veteran observers, the ball players are saying that Greg Nettles gave the greatest defensive performance from any position in the history of the World Series. When you want a fair appraisal, go to the opposition. I think Reggie Smith of the Dodgers really summed it up. He said, taking nothing away from Ron Guidry, the World Series stands right now, the Los Angeles Dodgers 2 games, Greg Nettles 1 game. And now it all started back for Nettles in Game 2 in Los Angeles, where he started his fielding heroics. Let's take a look there. This is the 3rd inning. Yeager the batter. Here's a dive to his left by Nettles. He has a remarkable ability to get up off the ground and make the throw. That's Garvey with a smash down the line, and another great stop by Nettles. Now Dusty Baker. This is still the 4th inning of Game 2. Look at the whirl, the ballet movement. Moving on to Yankee Stadium, Guidry pitching. Reggie Smith sends a rocket down the 3rd base line. He's up, and the throw's on, and the crowd roared. Guidry now pitching to Reggie Smith in the 5th inning. Wham, another smash. That one saved a couple of runs. He couldn't make the play, but it would have been down in the corner for at least the double. Garvey with the bases loaded. And again, Nettles breaks the Dodger heart. It's the hot corner position has been the nickname for it, and Nettles can really play it. You do or you don't there. This is the playoff Davey Lopes. So that's the way it went for Greg Nettles, and more to come. The sun has just popped out again. Speaking of Nettles, the combination last night, Nettles and Guidry, and right now, Tony Kubek has a conversation with him.
Ronnie, you said you made some good pitches, but you did need help from Greg, didn't you?
Well, that's true. You know, in my eyes, he's the best 3rd baseman that I've ever seen since I've been playing. And like I said last night, you know, I've seen him make that play many times through the course of my 2 years here, and it was like it was routine.
It wasn't a routine game for Guidry. He usually strikes out more, Greg, but you really helped him out.
Well, I was happy to contribute. I know that I want them to hit the ball at me, and especially when a guy like Ronnie's pitching, he frees me to play a little deeper, and because he's so agile and quick off the mound. So, you know, maybe if been another guy pitching, I might not have gotten those balls because I might have had to play in a little closer to the hitter.
You look like you almost had it pre-planned, Ronnie. Throw some sinkers down and in, or a slider down and in, make him hit it to Nettles.
Well, you know what? Sometimes he complains because I have an overpowering game and nobody hits the ball over there. So I'll let him earn his money. I'll let him hit the ball over there.
You said it was luck. It wasn't luck.
No, I don't see it as luck. Well, I just happened to be in the right place at the right time. You know, it's nice to get the exposure in a game like that, and especially in a big game that kept us from being blown away in the series.
I got a hunch that 2 friends of mine and yours too, Brooks Robinson and Clete Board, 2 pretty great ones, were standing by watching on television and oohing and eyeing along with the rest of the fans. Ron Guidry, Greg Nettles, our thanks to you. Let's go now to Kirk Gowdy.
I'll never forget covering the World Series of 1970 and the play of Brooks Robinson. They called him the human vacuum cleaner, and he put on the same performance in the 5-game series that Nettles is displaying here in this series. There's a typical Brooks Robinson play in that series.
Would you believe that? Well, this guy's in another world.
In the 100th anniversary of baseball, Brooks was voted the greatest living 3rd baseman in America. He hit .429 in that series. Nettles is not hitting right now, and Robinson was voted the most valuable player of the 1970 series with the Reds. Recently, we spoke to Brooks Robinson about his recall of that most valuable player award.
Well, that was kind of an unreal situation. I played almost 23 years professionally, and I never had 5 games that were like those 5 games where I was hitting as well and had a chance to make all the plays that I made. You know, you can play 2 weeks and really never get a chance to make a good play. And in this particular series, it was bang, 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 bang every day. And I think the thing that most people don't realize, the first ball that was hit to me in that series in the first game, I threw wild to first base for an error. And I began to say to myself, uh-oh, it's going to be the New York Mets all over again. Here we go again. We can't win. But things turned around abruptly after that, and I had a great series and was the MVP.
Here they call Steve Garvey Mr. Nice Guy. Brooks Robinson was Mr. Nice Guy of his era. Now we're going to be back to take a look at some World Series arguments and also have a talk with the Dodger manager, Tommy Lasorda. But first,
it's a part of baseball. We haven't had any in this World Series yet, but we have some film we'd like to show you, and I want you to especially pay attention to a discussion that Lasorda had with John McSherry on the mound. Watch this.
Okay, let's go.
You stink, you bum!
Listen here. He went far enough for me.
Don't you be intimidating.
I'm not intimidating you, but...
Don't you be intimidating.
I'm not intimidating you, but I'm going to tell you something. As far as I'm concerned, he went enough.
Well, that's good enough for me.
Okay.
But sometimes get some help on it, too, all right?
All right, buddy.
Situation if you were managing this ball club, John.
You took this club in first, man.
I got a big decision to make, and I just don't know what to do. I thought maybe possibly could help me. John, I got a decision to make, and I just don't know. Maybe whatever you think would be best, John, I'll go along with it because I know you're very knowledgeable. Very knowledgeable.
Whatever you think best, John, I'll go along with it. That's Lasorda. Well, Curt Gowdy asked him about umpires and then, well, a couple other things. Curt, here's what he had to say.
Tommy's been quiet as far as you, Lemon, and the umpires have been concerned in this World Series.
Well, I'll be very honest with you, Curt. I think the umpires have done a super job. I really am proud of the way they've been on the ball and they've been on top of everything. And I hope it continues that way because, after all, these fans and millions all over the world, they want to see the ball players play. They don't want to see us argue.
Anything surprise you so far in the series?
Mr. Nettles. I heard he was good, but I didn't think he was that great. I mean, that exhibition he put on yesterday was one of the finest single exhibitions I've ever seen a man do with a glove. Unbelievable. And then, after you watch him on television, then you become more aware of how tough they were because from the side they looked outstanding. But then when I saw the replays on TV, I didn't think there's any way this guy could catch those balls.
Who are you starting tomorrow?
We're going to start Bert Hooton. Bert pitched in our second game. He's been our most consistent pitcher throughout the year, and he pitched well. He won the second game at home, and we're going to go with Bert.
Tom Lasorda, the Dodger manager. NBC's 1978 coverage of the World Series continues right after this.
This afternoon from Yankee Stadium, Game 4 of the 1978 World Series. The American League champions, the New York Yankees, versus the National League champions, the Los Angeles Dodgers. Brought to you by Chrysler Plymouth, who invites you to see the beautiful new Chrysler Newport and discover that now you can have it all right now. By Gillette, makers of Right Guard antiperspirant. Don't get dressed without it. And by Light Beer, everything you always wanted in a beer and less. Play ball! Well, for a while, it was doubtful whether we would play ball, but it looks like we're going to have a pretty nice day. They forecast some occasional showers, but right now it's pretty nice. It'll be Tommy John against Ed Figueroa. And Tom Seaver, I know you have some views on that.
I certainly do, Joe. Thank you. And for the Dodgers, it's going to be 35-year-old Tommy John, their left-hander. He started and won the first game of this World Series for the Los Angeles Dodgers out in Dodger Stadium. He's got that outstanding sinker. You'll see a lot of ground balls, a lot of infield outs in the Yankee lineup today. In 213 innings during the regular season, he gave up just 11 home runs. And for the Yankees, amidst some controversy, 20-game winner Ed Figueroa. Figueroa did not get the ball down in the strike zone. The Dodgers handled him very roughly. He was the starter and loser in that game number 1. For him to be effective, he's got to establish that he can get his curveball over, get the ball down in the strike zone. Earlier today, Curt Cowdy talked to Yankee manager Bob Lemon about that decision to start his starter, Ed Figueroa.
Bob Lemon, some people wonder why you're starting Ed Figueroa again. He's failed twice now in postseason for you.
Well, he's one of my best pitchers. We wouldn't be here unless Ed had won 20 ball games. I think anybody can have an off day with their control, and that's been his only problem. He's sound, and he has a type of assortment of pitches that I think can compete with the Dodgers. So I wish people would wait till after he pitches to second-guess me, but I got to go with him because he's one of our best pitchers.
A lot of people forget that you started as a third baseman. Did you ever see a better game played at third than your Greg Nettles last night?
No, I haven't, and especially under the conditions, you know, with the bases loaded and men in scoring position. It seemed like all during the ball game, it was just amazing that he has the reflexes that he does and can get up off the ground as quick as anybody I've ever seen.
Well, if anybody appreciates defense, it's my partner, Tony Kubek. Tony, you marvel at him, but you marvel at any defensive play.
Well, I do. Other players do. Pitchers cannot get along without it. Remember back in the 1974 World Series, the Dodgers against the Oakland A's, there was a little second baseman. His name was Dick Green. He did not get one base hit in that World Series, and yet he finished second in the most valuable player voting. A point to consider, really, not just the great defense of Nettles and the Yankees so far in this series, inner defense, but the Dodgers have had some, well, they've stumbled actually sometimes defensively, inner defense. They did last night, one game in Los Angeles, and with Tommy John throwing a lot of sinker balls, a lot of ground balls when he's right, if the Dodgers don't play defensively well behind him, the Yankees could give him trouble again today.
Well, we'll wait and see. The weather, again, was big news, but it's 68 degrees here. You can see it looks like a beautiful day for baseball. And let's go to the public address announcer, Bob Shepard, and meet the players.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Yankee Stadium and the fourth game of the 1978 World Series. Here are the National League champion Los Angeles Dodgers, non-starters, coaches, and trainers. And now, the Dodgers starting lineup for today's game. Batting first, the second baseman, number 15, Davey Lopes. Batting second, the shortstop, Bill Russell, number 18. Batting third, the right fielder, number 8, Reggie Smith. Batting fourth, the first baseman, number 6, Steve Garvey. Batting fifth, the third baseman, number 10, Ron Say. Batting sixth, the left fielder, number 12, Dusty Baker. Batting seventh, the designated hitter, number 16, Rick Monday. Batting eighth, the center fielder, number 4, Bill North. Batting ninth and catching, number 7, Steve Yeager. Warming up in the Dodger bullpen, number 25, pitcher Tommy John. And Dodger manager Tom Lasorda. Now, ladies and gentlemen, your world champion, New York Yankee non-starters, coaches, and trainers. The Yankees starting lineup for this afternoon. Batting first, the center fielder, number 2, Paul Blair. Batting second, the left fielder, number 6, Roy White. Batting third and catching, number 15, Herman Munson. Batting fourth, the designated hitter, number 44, Reggie Jackson. Batting fifth, the right fielder, number 14, Lou Piniella. Batting sixth, the third baseman, number 9, Craig Nettles.
There is Ginger Nettles, and applauding just like the rest of these Yankee fans for the job Nettles did last night.
What a tribute. What a tribute. Wow. Standing ovation for defensive play.
Batting seventh, the first baseman, number 10, Chris Chambliss.
Chambliss saying, how can I follow that act?
The second baseman, number 11, Fred Stanley.
Lovely Lynn Stanley.
Batting ninth, the shortstop, number 20, Bucky Dent.
And that is Bucky's wife, Stormy Dent.
Warming up in the Yankee bullpen, the pitcher, number 31, Ed Figueroa. And the manager of the Yankees, Bob Lemon. Ladies and gentlemen, we invite you to stand, salute the colors as presented by the United States Armed Forces Police Color Guard, and join with the internationally famous Robert Merrill as we honor America with our national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, those broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous night? O'er the ramparts we watched was so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
NBC will bring you the fourth game of the World Series following the ceremonial first pitch right after this message.
Before Game 4, a low-keyed Greg Nettles looked human after all. Thanks to Nettles' magic glove, the 75th World Series had taken on a new dimension. But Tom Lasorda was determined not to let it bother his Warriors.
Let's go aggressive and determined, that's all. Good luck, David. Have a good day. Come on. Let's all have a good day. Something good is going to happen to you.
Your attention, please, ladies and gentlemen. We now direct your attention to the box on the home plate side of the Yankee dugout, where to throw out today's ceremonial first pitch is the First Lady of the Yankees, Mrs. Lou Gehrig.
Mrs. Lou Gehrig, the First Lady of the Yankees, and she's got a pretty good arm, Tony. Breaking ball. Tony, while we got a chance here, let's run down the umpires. Behind the plate, we'll have Marty Springstead. And at first base, we'll have Frank Pulley. Second base, there you see Marty Springstead. Down at first base, they have a little bit of a meeting. There you see the lineup. Joe Brinkman is at second base. Ed Fargo, third base. Bill Heller in left field. That's Pulley on the left, Kibler on the right. He'll be down the right field line. John Kibler of the National League. We were waiting for Ed Figueroa. The team will take the field only when the pitcher's ready.
Defensively for the Yankees, Chris Chambliss. He's at first base. Second base today, Fred Stanley. They call him Chicken with those bird legs. Good defensive player. Shortstop, Bucky Dent, wearing the eye black in case the sun comes back out. There's the man, Greg Nettles, put on the big show last night in the ball game and also the second game in Los Angeles. Left field, Roy White once again. Center field, Paul Blair today. Left-hander Tommy John going, and of course Rivers still having the leg problem. In right field, Lou Piniella. Behind the plate again, even though that shoulder is so sore he can barely swing and throw, is Thurman Munson. And pitching, Ed Figueroa. And Tom Seaver, you talked about the controversy surrounding this man. There have been some quotes attributed to Billy Martin that Billy did not say. Kurt Gowdy might have an interesting story, an update on that Martin Figueroa thing later on in the ball game.
Figueroa having a birthday today, 30 years old. He was a starter. Tommy John a starter in that first game in Los Angeles. Tommy John was the winner, 11-5. He pitched 7 2/3 innings. Figueroa was the loser. He pitched an inning and 2/3. 20-9 in 1978. He'll be facing Davey Lopes. Lopes is 4 for 14. Do you think he'll hit the first pitch again? If you were pitching, would you go out there with that in mind?
You definitely go with that in mind, Joe, no question. You know, he's a first ball fastball hitter, and he's going to be hacking at it. It's always something the pitcher is conscious about when he starts off a ball game. I believe it's going to be a breaking ball. Many times when I start a ball game, I'll throw the slider and just get it off the plate. To get a feel, to get your feet on the ground and have that first pitch under your belt.
You would think that Figueroa was starting with a breaking ball. Let's see what he does. Why don't you guess along with us? It was a breaking ball for a strike. Outside, 1 ball, 1 strike. Figueroa's another one of those pitchers who looks at the ground before he delivers at the plate, which makes hitters nervous.
Took me a while to learn, Joe, about Davey Lopes. I pitched the game last year against the Dodgers. Lopes hit the first pitch over the right center field wall. Came to Cincinnati, led off the game. The first pitch he hit off the right center field wall for a triple. 2 pitches, got a home run and a triple off him.
2 balls and 2 strikes. Tony Nettles is really playing cat and mouse with Lopes, not coming in, but he's in the hole and he takes 2 steps to his right or even more.
He's very mobile as the pitch is on the way. He gets the sign, as we said yesterday, appeal play. First base umpire says no, Frank Pulley. But he'll get the signs from Bucky Dent. He'll yell his name on the fastball. He'll move to his left. On the changeup or breaking ball, he'll move to his right. Ball they're more likely to hit down the line. And he's like a tennis player who anticipates. That's how to play. Thurman Munson said before the game of Nettles, he's the best all-round athlete I've ever played any sport with. And Munson has played a lot of sports. There's Thurman. Talking about base running, fielding, hitting under pressure.
Right field. Piniella has room. 1 out. One away, it brings up Bill Russell as shortstop. He is 6 for 13. He is leading the Dodgers with base hits. Baker has 5. In fact, he's leading both teams. Jackson has 5. So here is Kurt Gowdy's man, the man he picked. And he's leading in base hits. Tough play. Another base hit. He just couldn't pick it up. That was one of those in-betweeners.
I don't think it was because of the wet turf, Joe. They had the infield covered all night, and the infield really does look pretty good. It's just a bad thing of communication between Munson and Figueroa. They don't really seem to be working together right there, and it's I got it, you take it kind of play, and no chance at first base.
One of the things they'll teach both the catcher and any infielder and the pitcher, too, especially, is to grab the ball with 2 hands. The glove man the hand. He grabbed it just with a glove and never could get a good grip on it. But the infield's very bumpy, as is the outfield here in Yankee Stadium.
Once that ball took that second bounce, it looked like Munson was out of play, and the only man could make it was Figueroa, and he couldn't get a grip on it. This is Reggie Smith.
Figueroa, a pitcher, we mentioned it the first game he pitched, has been accused of having a balk move. That left knee or the left shoulder, it's something that the base stealers will watch very closely, and the umpire.
Outside, 1 ball, no strikes.
There's a good shot, Joe and Tom, of exactly what the base stealer is seeing. What he is looking for, the feet, the knee, the left shoulder, the turn of the head, anything that will tip something off that he can grab and maybe steal.
Outside, 2 balls, no strikes, 1 out.
Many people think that baseball is really kind of a catch-as-catch-can business. Scouts that go around watch other teams will time a pitcher's delivery, how long it takes for him to set up from that position right there and then deliver the ball. It'll take X amount of time, and they'll want to know that. So when they go back to their own teams, they say, we can run this man and this man against this certain pitcher.
3 balls and 1 strike. Figueroa behind Reggie Smith, who takes a look at Preston Gomez. You know he's hitting. What he wants to know is Russell running? Some hitters don't like that. They just want to concentrate. You heard Reggie Jackson talk about how on that strikeout by Welch that he lost his concentration when Bucky Dent broke. Russell's going. Ball 4. Reggie Smith draws a base on balls, so it's base runners at first and second, 1 out. And here is Steve Garvey, who is 4 for 12.
I just saw something I've never seen a third baseman do. Greg Nettles, because Bucky Dent was covering second base, as soon as the ball was thrown to the hitter, Smith, Nettles almost ran to cover the shortstop hole. I'd never seen a third baseman do that before. It was just an amazing thing to see.
There he is. Garvey, who is yet to drive in a run. Outside, ball 1. Figueroa was pretty much his pattern in that first game. We look at Reggie Smith at first and Russell's at second. Right field, Piniella coming in, he's got it. They're going to have a double play. Second base, that's what they want to do, and now they finally go there, so the double play goes 9-3, and second, it was a Stanley. Russell lost the ball.
Give the credit to Piniella. Piniella got a good jump. Here comes Bill off second base. Now he picked up Piniella, and he says no way he's going to get that ball because it's sinking and slicing away. Preston Gomez cannot help him back. He's got to retouch while the ball goes to first base. He didn't even retouch. He's gone either way you look at it. Pretty good play by Piniella.
He'd have been out 2 or 3 different ways. It was Bucky Dent who was at second base.
Nettles might have been decoying him on that too.
A bizarre double play, and there's the frustration of Bill Russell. So we go to the bottom half of the first inning. No score. So, a weird double play, and let's see how the Dodgers line up, Tony, defensively.
All right. John, he pitched the first ball game in Los Angeles in this World Series. He's being caught by Steve Yeager once again. And Marty Springston of the American League bearing down. Watching John, the way his ball moves, he's never umpired a game that John has pitched in, I don't think.
Tony, the point we made in the first game, Tommy John opening out at Dodger Stadium in game number 1, he had a National League umpire behind home plate. Today he's got an American League umpire, and John, obviously with the sinker, dead. Low ball pitcher. Got to get the low strike to be effective. This could, that American League umpire could make a difference in this game to Tommy John.
As it's a strike, the first base umpire, he said, look at Blair, he said it all. Frank Pulley said, that's enough. Not talking no more. You saying he's not going to get the low strike today?
Did you see that pitch?
I differ with you. I want to talk more to you about this.
2 strikes.
Bobby Mercer, other guys who've gone from the American League to the National League. have said it's still about the same, about 50-50. You've still got some umpires who are basically low ball umpires or breaking ball umpires or high ball or inside or outside. I think it's the individual umpire more than the league.
Base hit. Nobody will get Blair on a ball like that. He's got the base hit, but he's still talking with Pulley for that strike.
Here's an example of a sinker. Paul Blair hits the ball right down into the ground with a very good speed. Yeager has no chance on this play. Just pick it up, give it back to the pitcher, go to the second hitter, Roy White.
Joe, I thought Davey Lopes made an interesting observation when Tommy John pitched the great ball game against Philadelphia in the championship series. That was an artificial surface in Philadelphia. Lopes said, I would rather have, there's Davey, rather have Tommy John an artificial surface because you always get a true hop. Here you don't know what's going to happen.
There goes Blair. Lopes' only play is at first base. White is out, but he moves the runner along. So there's one away, and it brings up Thurman Munson. Munson is 2 for 12.
So Bob Lemon continues to start base runners. He's done it almost all series long when the score has been close or he's been ahead. With Randolph out with a bad leg, he's one of the base-stealing threats. Rivers out, he knows he's going to have to start runners because he doesn't have the steal threat anymore.
Outfield is not very deep for Munson. Out of play. They look very shallow to me as you look at them. Look how close North is in second base.
I've got to believe the scouting report has gotten around about Munson's shoulder. Even though he hit that real long drive in the championship series in this ballpark to left center against Kansas City.
Here's the throw. They're going to get him. They got him.
Oh, did he block it?
He blocked it beautifully. Once that ball took one hop, that was a room service throw by Reggie Smith. Catchers love that. He just put the block on him, and Blair was out. A beautiful throw, a great tag.
You made a good point, Joe, when you talked about the outfield playing a little more shallow. Blair does not cut the base well. He goes toward the dugout, and Yeager puts that left foot right there, gives him the shin guard, takes the plate away. I'll tell you what, he's taking more of the plate away than most catchers do. And he got away from it, just jammed Paul Blair up. Great throw.
Most of the time, watch this throw, most of the time they'll give you half to play, but that one hopper, his leg is taking all the plate away, and Blair cannot get in unless he bowled him over. And he chose not to, and it was a kind of a tag that catchers love to make. So there are 2 outs, and here is Reggie Jackson. Big guys coming in. Somebody like that Dave Parker would hit you like the 5:15 leaving Grand Central.
Joe, in the first ball game, there was one series or one time at bat that Tommy John pitched Reggie high and tight, which is unusual for John. He usually stays down. I wonder if he'll do it in Yankee Stadium with that short fence in right field.
Watch for it. Side 3-1. Boy, here's where this guy will crank up. You go to pitching, you can't go to throwing.
He had 2 shots at him, Joe. It was 2-0, and now it's 3-1. Anytime you give good hitters a chance to hit with those counts, you got to be in trouble.
Pulled it foul. Now it's a full count. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Bottom of the first, no score.
Better remind Reggie, the runner's going to be going here now.
That's right. It broke his concentration last time. Garvey drops way back. There he goes. Bouncing ball to Garvey. Take it himself. That ends the inning. Ron Cey leads it off. He's 3 for 10 with 1 home run. He has driven in 4 runs. He got it and he crunched it. Base hit, center field. Ron Cey, a good pitcher, will stay ahead of the hitters, obviously. And a good pitcher can also throw something besides his fastball in the strike zone when he's behind those hitters. because I don't care how fast you are. There are guys in this league, you couldn't shoot a ball by them. Here's Dusty Baker.
Did you see the lump on Thurman's right shoulder? He's got a lump that sticks out about 3 inches. I think it's a partial separation.
It's about a 2-inch hump he's got there. 1 strike. 1 ball, 1 strike. When you're playing under the handicap that Munson is and everybody's running, but the only thing you can do is pitch out and hope that you're right and put some doubt in their mind that you got their signs, and then maybe a little bit of confusion. They can switch him, and it hardly stops him.
Thurman's one catcher who doesn't like to pitch out a whole lot. He doesn't like, especially with that arm, he doesn't like his pitcher to get behind. He's just kind of come see, come say, hey, if they steal, they steal. I might not be able to help it.
He's got to do something because he's almost like a starter at the track meet. He gets the ball and they run. It's popped up in the infield. Dan looked at Stanley. Now Bucky's going to take it. Good thing that thing was way up there. You see him smiling. Let's pause briefly for station identification. This is the NBC Television Network.
This is WNBC TV, New York.
Joe Garagiola here along with Tony Kubek, Kurt Gowdy, Tom Seaver. Yankee Stadium, Game 4. Rick Mundy, the batter. There's 1 man out, 1 man on, no score. We're in the 2nd inning. Outside, ball 1. Tony, why would there be confusion on such a routine Little League fly ball?
One of those right around second base, and each looked at the other, thought the other was going to get it, then it drifted more toward Dent. You want to help each other out there. You want to go for everything you can get unless you're waved off.
Misses outside, 2 balls, no strikes. And here we go again, 2 balls, no strikes. It's almost a cliche now, but pitching behind like this is like checking your gas tank with a match. Outside, 3-0. Look at Monday, those hitters, they just drool. You can see it running down the sides. Look at those eyes, looking for that hit sign.
The hitter winds up, the pitcher winds up to throw the ball in there. When they're way ahead, the hitter winds up. And it's like they're just getting ready to drive the ball.
Ball 4, second base on balls, given up by Figueroa. It moves Say down to second. Monday's at first, and Billy North is the batter.
And out pops Bob Lemon. He's going to have a chat right now with the starting pitcher, Ed Figueroa.
I know a couple things Tony is going to talk to him about.
What?
You go down the list. He's 3-2 on Lopes. Russell at the first pitch. He's 3-1 on Smith. 1-0 on Garvey. 3-1 on Say.
Dick Tidrow starts warming up now for the Yankees.
2-0 on Monday. Exactly what we've been saying. I mean, I've had it said to me 100 times.
What do you say?
You can't pitch that way. You've got to get ahead of the hitters.
But you say
throw strikes.
They say I'm trying.
Try harder. I've heard pitchers say they get chewed on a little bit once in a while, Joe. That'll happen out there, too.
That's what I wanted to bring out, that managers don't just go out there and pat you because you say, I try harder. Don't give me that try harder. Get some strikes or you're going to get some cold water.
Exactly right.
Here is Billy North. It's a strike.
It worked, huh?
It did on that pitch. 1 ball, 1 strike. Center field, Paul Blair going back. Say is tagging up. Let's see what happens. The tag, the throw, and Say heads for third. He'll make it easily.
Those of you who have not seen much of Paul Blair, he goes back on the ball as well as anybody in baseball today and in a number of years. Yankee Stadium, this center field is made for him. He can play shallow. He does not fear having the ball hit over his head. He gets the line, drives the little loopers, and he gives some base runners trouble because he charges balls so well and plays so shallow.
Tony, not as a put down. He's got 2 fellas alongside of him that he's never going to collide with either. Piniella and White, I mean, unless it's a rare occasion, he's going to have all kinds of room. That ball goes up, he's going to hear him hollering a lot of room. Here's Yeager. Outside. Munson ready. He's ready for anything.
Notice another thing, too, Tony. White really plays deep, doesn't he? He is way back there.
Yeah. That's been a theory
very deep left field.
A theory in Yankee Stadium for a long time, to cut down that alley in left center field and prevent the triples.
There's the strike. 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 outs, second inning, no score. Foul out of play. What do you think, guys? He might try a double steal?
No, I don't think so. If it gets fouled up, take the bat out of Yeager's hand. Well, let's see. You've got a pipeline of Tommy Lasorda if he's one of your best pals.
I'd be looking for it.
Figueroa thought he had it, but it was outside. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
There's Lasorda. Lovely wife, Joe Lasorda. A bad throw at watching the game from the hotel. Rooting for her man. Get better, Joe. Bob Lemon. Every time you talk to him, he wants to say hello to Mom. 2 classy guys. Popped up. Bucky Dent. That ends the inning. The leaves are starting to turn here in the east. What a beautiful shot of New York, Manhattan. October 15th. 5th game, that's tomorrow, Sunday. It'll be Beatty against Bert Hooton. And then the Bob Hope All-Star Comedy Salute to the 75th anniversary of the World Series. Danny Kaye will be the special guest. Glenn Campbell, Charo, Steve Martin, Jim Henson and the Muppets. Steve Martin will be playing a vendor. Cheryl Teagues, Billy Martin, Howard Cosell. Genesis of Baseball from Revelations to the Dead Sea Scrolls by the voice that tells it like it is, Howard Cosell. Old Howard will be there. Special appearances by Johnny Bench, Vida Blue, Don Drysdale, Sandy Koufax, and Tommy Davis. They'll do a dance, those last 3. Mickey Mantle. That's the Bob Hope All-Star Comedy Salute. Sunday night, tomorrow night. Ball 1.
Did you see Lou? What was he doing? That little dance at home plate? He's going to go out there and get a good look at Tommy John's sinker. That was something. Look at this.
What?
He's taking the ball. He's taking his hand off the bat.
Take it all right. It looks like he's trying to fake him out like a basketball player. Like, I'm going out and get your sinker. Throw me a pitch inside. Look at this.
What would you do, Tom? Would that upset you?
No, he's making him throw strikes. What he's saying is you're gonna have to throw the ball in the strike zone before I'm going to swing the bat. First 2 pitches, balls. And a ground ball.
Still got the ground ball. Say to Garvey, gets Piniella. Do what you want, and Tommy John just continues to throw those grub worms. Here comes the man of the hour, Greg Nettles. One man out, nobody on, no score. We're in the bottom of the 2nd inning. Bouncing ball, Lopes, easy out.
Pitcher look at the ground for balance. Right? The pitchers in the windup, if they keep their head up, it seems, at least I know I do because I look at the ground. If I keep my head up, I feel like my balance goes too far to my back leg. If I keep my head down, curled, I feel my shoulders stay curled.
Do you look at a particular spot?
No, I don't look at anything. Just keep my head down and look down at the ground somewhere.
Here's Chambliss. Strike on the outside corner.
I've tried keeping my head up, watching the target all the time, but I find that I start leaning backward, and that's not very good for my style.
Just missed, 1-1.
The guys who look down never bothered me. It's the guys like Louis Tiant or the young kid from Toronto, Victor Cruz, who look at the clock in center field. That's what upset me.
1-1 pitch. Outside, 2 balls and 1 strike.
Gene Garber down in Atlanta did the same thing. It drive you crazy, wouldn't it?
2-1 pitch. Ground ball. Bill Russell. In time. 3 ground balls.
That's Tommy John walking off, and watch this sign language now. Up to the bottom of the 2nd inning. What is that? That might be. Now, that, ball players are funny. Gil Hodges used to throw kisses to his wife after he'd hit a home run as he crossed home plate. That might be a message. It might be a message to his wife.
I personally think,
I don't know.
You get enough pine tar on your fingers or grease and you get a buildup. Sooner or later, you got to get it off there, pal.
You can go do it in the dugout. sign language to somebody. Maybe he was looking at our third base camera saying hello to all the relatives back in India.
Here is Davey Lopes. Takes the pitch outside, ball one. High, ball two. Lopes flied to right his first time up. 2 balls, no strikes. Lopes 4 for 14 with 2 home runs. At 17 during the regular season. Big year for Davey, his best as far as home runs.
Look at that! Oh! Look at Davey Lopes. He's talking to himself. Nettles is playing Lopes up even with a bag, looking for a possible bunt. You want to see some reflexes. This is an absolute bullet. I can see a guy catching a ball like that right at him. They are just showing that play on the replay board up here in Yankee Stadium. The same thing we're showing you right now. That is an amazing glove. Eddie Vargo is even at the chair.
Outside, ball one. Davey Lopes hit that ball, looked, couldn't believe it. They just well try somebody else. Boy, I tell you, with greatness, sure he loves it because he knows he can do the job, but I tell you, there's a certain degree of humility with greatness. Fly ball. Stanley makes the play. Piniella is coming in.
Nettles has led this ball club in home runs. He's driven a lot of runs for this club, but he appreciates this, that you're going to see again, more than a home run or an RBI.
Boy, he would have made some boxer with that quick left hand.
You're talking double again right there. Double,
Yes,
maybe triple if it rattles around that corner where White's playing.
Here's Reggie Smith. Foul straight back.
2 strikes. That was the best pitch he made right there. Pretty hard fastball, Tom.
Pretty good fastball to a pretty good fastball hitter. That surprised me. He got that ball up, got the ball by him, too.
High and tight. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Reggie Smith, nobody on, 2 outs. We're in the top of the third. Game number 4. No score. Called out on strikes. Figueroa has a 1-2-3 inning. So we go to the bottom half of the third inning. And there is no score. Dodgers nothing and the Yankees nothing. The fella in the middle, Ron Guidry's brother. Not that kid, that gentleman right there. Everybody wants to get in the showbiz. Here is Fred Stanley. Popped up. North in center field, taking charge.
They're making Tommy John work a little bit more than they did the first game, making him throw some strikes. You can see Piniella set the tone of that earlier in the ball game. I think all of the Yankees got together. There's Marty Springstead. The whole plate umpire got together and said, let's stay off the bad pitches if we can. The more you keep going out to reach out and hit the ball the opposite way, right-handed hitters, the farther Tommy John goes outside.
He's got good control. He has averaged 2.2 walks per 9 innings this season. So he throws strikes, and there's another one. 1 man out, nobody on. Bottom of the third, no score, game 4. Dodgers leading the series 2-1. Yankees won the ball game last night. There's a base hit. Bucky Dent rounds first, but he'll hold on with a single. And the umbrellas start to pop out. They expect occasional showers, is what the weatherman said. It has gotten dark, the lights are on, sprinkles, but the fans came prepared. They're going to call time. They're going to cover it. Marty Springstead with a count of 2 balls and 1 strike on Blair with 1 out, no score in the bottom of the third.
Greg Nettles, the man of 1,000 gloves or something. He's got one on 89 arms. He's like an octopus. Nickname him Hoover, a vacuum cleaner.
Piniella really holding court there with Reggie Jackson.
There's one thing about the Yankees. Any of you people lip readers out there, I hope not. There's the starting pitcher, Beatty, right there.
There's Mel Allen right there. That's Mel Allen.
There's
Sure
Mel Allen on the left, sure. He was Mr. World Series.
tell you, boy, when growing up as a kid, that voice would boom out. Yeah. He's upstairs.
That's with Henry Kissinger, too. He's right down here, George, right to our left. They're right here in the same level we are in the press box. In the last booth, I think that's Mr. Steinbrenner's box down there.
He's a soccer commissioner now.
Matt Allen this year, and of course, Red Barber, we're putting a special section of baseball's Hall of Fame. There's the press level. That's where we are, out of the rain. Alan Roth, the man way to the right of your screen, he's the one that gives us all those priceless gems. Oh, I'm sorry, Tom. Excuse me.
You wouldn't even let my mom see me on TV, Tony.
Oh, my goodness. Well, we've got a rain delay here, pretty obvious. Don't know how long it'll be. The ground crew are putting a hose on the tarp so it doesn't blow off. So it looks like the weather report says it may get a bit heavy, and we'll just have to wait. There's not much you can do.
Some people wonder what players do when it rains. Some stay on the bench and chew the fat, spit tobacco on the dugout steps, hold court, etc. Some go in the clubhouse and play bridge. Some play mahjong. Play other card games.
What do you think Figueroa and John will do?
You know, a surprise. Now, we had a shot earlier of the Yankee dugout. Ed Figueroa was still sitting there. Now, I can't find Tommy John on the Dodger bench here. I don't know whether he's gone in to change his sweatshirt. There you see Ed Figueroa right there, towel around his neck, got his coat on. Surprised he has not gone in and changed, unless he's already done this previously, gone in and changed his sweatshirt.
I talked to the Yankee groundkeeper, Jimmy Esposito. He said the grounds could take quite a bit of rain. It's a good drainage system. A soft turf, a slow infield. Does that help Tommy John?
Well, if he hits the ball, if he makes him hit the ball on the ground, it's certainly advantageous to Tommy, which this is his bread and butter, getting them to hit the ball on the ground. And it won't have as much skip on it going through the infield because of the infield being a little soggy.
I don't want you to get nervous now because we can't start without you out there, so everything's all right. How's John pitched for you so far in your estimation?
Well, John has pitched very well. Reggie came up with a real fine throw that prevented them from scoring one run, and it was a great throw, and Steve Yeager made a nice tag. But we've had men on base, and we just haven't been able to produce. But we're going to keep going after them, Kurt. We've got an aggressive bunch of players, and they love to win, and they're a great ball club. I'm really proud of them.
In the Dodger dugout, I got Ronnie Say, the Los Angeles Dodger third baseman. The obvious question that I've got to ask him about last night, your impression of Greg Nettles' play at third.
Just unbelievable. I don't think I've ever seen as many plays made by one person, whether it was a third baseman or not, in one game that was more or less pivotal to each inning that we had runners on base. And I think the main thing is that he was able to make a big play early in the game, and without people on base, gave him confidence, and then it was easier for him. If there hadn't been a ball that was hit down there with the velocity that was with people on base prior to that, it may have been a little bit different kind of a play, but he made every play, he got him out of every inning, and took us right out of the ballgame.
Well, Tony was keeping track upstairs, and we figured that Greg's play last night saved probably 5, 6, or 7 runs, depending on what would happen with a base runner.
Right, we feel that we would have scored at least 5 runs. We had the bases loaded twice. And then I think we had runners at first and second another time. So he saved them at least 4 runs, possibly 5.
Keep your memories of championship baseball alive with souvenir tickets from baseball's 75th Anniversary World Series. These 2 commemorative tickets, one for each of the 78 series teams, are colorfully printed and laminated in plastic for long-lasting value. To order tickets, send check or money order for $3 to Souvenir Tickets, Box 969, San Bruno, California. That's Souvenir Tickets, Box 969, San Bruno, California, 94066.
The preceding message was furnished by Major League Baseball. There goes the runner. It's popped up. Blair pops one to the infield. Bill Russell taking charge and makes the play. So there are 2 away, and it brings up Roy White.
The base runner is Bucky Dent. He's single. This inning began when Stanley flied to center field. Bucky Dent singled, and a count of 2 balls and 1 strike. The rains came. It was 4:26. They covered the infield, came back, and on the first pitch, Paul Blair pops to Bill Russell. No runs, 2 hits, no errors for the Dodgers. No runs, 3 hits, and no errors for the Yankees. There are 2 outs. One man on. The batter is Roy White, who bounced out to the second baseman his first time up. 1-1 pitch. Bouncing ball, foul. I know you were in the dugout, but did you get to the clubhouse?
Got to the clubhouse a little while. The guys were in the training room watching on TV.
What kind of feeling was it down there?
Middle of the ball game. They know Tommy's pitching real well. They think they'll get to Figueroa.
Right side, Reggie Smith has plenty of room. Smith makes the play. That retires his side. 1 ball, 1 strike. Nobody out. Nothing. We're in the 4th. 2 balls and a strike. High. 3 balls and a strike. Garvey draws a base on balls. That's the 3rd walk given up by Figueroa, and it brings up Ron Cey. Ron Cey has one of the 2 hits. There goes Garvey. Here's the throw. It hit the run. Stanley made a tremendous play. I thought it hit the runner. I don't know how he got that ball, Tony.
He didn't know he had it either. We'll watch it again. He got blocked out, it looked like, from Garvey. Munson gets a tough ball to throw on, inside and high. Garvey had it beaten. Munson did not get anything on the throw, and somehow Stanley got his glove on the ball.
Here's the 2-1 pitch to Cey. Bouncing ball. Dent holds the runner, fires the first. Cey is out. 1 out.
I'll tell you, 2 balls and 1 strike ahead of the pitcher. That isn't something that Ronnie Cey wanted to do. He could have picked this pitch. He tried to go the opposite way, I believe, but he turned that top hand over a little bit and pulled the ball too much. The Yankee infielders are very steady. Neither Dent nor Stanley cover a heck of a lot of ground, but they don't miss too many.
Dusty Baker is the batter with 1 man out. No score. We're in the top of the 4th. High fly ball. Roy White, left field. Garvey is tagging up at second. He'll head for 3rd. Catch is made. There goes Garvey. He'll make it easily.
The Dodger right-handed power hitters are finding out something very quickly about this ballpark. The workout before yesterday's game, or the day before yesterday's game, Davey Lopes took 1 swing, hit it about 390 feet to left center, and he said, "I'm going to my Maury Wills stroke." Punching away at the ball. No way I can get one out in left field.
Rick Monday, the designated hitter, he walked his first time up. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Garvey at 3rd. No score. Popped up, left field. Roy White giving it a chase. Everybody running hard. White makes the play. Down goes Nettles. Brother, did he cover a lot of ground.
Nettles had to be 250 feet away from home plate when White caught that ball. Watch him go. He turns his back like a great center fielder would. He keeps going now. He doesn't hear White. With a left-handed hitter, White was playing a little bit toward left center field. A near collision. And Nettles landed hard on that right shoulder, very hard. He's walking off the field very slowly. He is stunned a little bit, Joe.
I believe he is. They'll be checking with him. So, in the bottom of the 4th, no score.
Here you see Nettles going all the way down that line. White comes in, and it looks like White may have hit Greg in the face with his elbow. See, as they go by there, that's possible, because after the inning was over, Greg went in, was holding his jaw as he was going down up the runway to the clubhouse. Now, here it is again.
Watch also, after he gets clipped in the side of the face by the left elbow. Well, I don't see it.
When he hit the ground.
When he hit his right shoulder, that has been a sore shoulder for Nettles. Last year, you might recall in the championship series against Kansas City, when Nettles stood hard into Brett, Nettles' right shoulder was injured. He has never thrown quite as well. It's hurt his throwing, and that's what he landed on again.
And Roy White was checking his elbow, but apparently everything's all right. You followed him into the dugout, although Nettles went to the clubhouse. At any rate, we're in the bottom of the 4th. It'll be Thurman Munson to lead it off. Reggie Jackson and Lou Piniella. Munson, single to right his first time up. Yankees came close to scoring in their first inning, but a throw by Reggie Smith to Steve Yeager, a fine play, nipped Paul Blair at the plate, and that's been the closest we've come to a score. Outside, ball 1. There's the strike. Two balls and a strike.
Tom Tom, I think the Yankees are doing something interesting. Piniella did it earlier when he was obviously taking one strike. And I think what they're doing is they're saying, okay, we're going to look like we're taking, and if he does start coming in just to throw a strike and get it up, they're going to jump all over it. I think he's probably too smart to fall for it.
3 balls and a strike. He's been ahead of most of the hitters, but he's behind the Munson 3-1. He hasn't walked anybody. He's allowed 3 hits. First base on balls given up by Tommy John. Puts Munson on, brings up Reggie Jackson. Reggie is the chant here at Yankee Stadium. John behind Reggie Jackson. Nobody out. Munson at first, no score. Strike. 3 balls, 2 strikes. A delayed call by Marty Springstead, but it's a full count. Munson, a good lead at first. Here he goes. Struck him out. Yeager cannot make the throw. He dropped the ball, and Munson is on at second base. A stolen base for Thurman Munson as Jackson goes down on strikes.
There's something about this 3-2 pitch that handcuffed Steve Yeager. Don't know what it was, but it's low. It sinks an awful lot. He just can't seem to get it. He was surprised by Munson. He went after with one hand, and there it goes. It slipped right out of his hand.
He just didn't get a grip on it, Tony. He backhanded the ball, and he was never sure with that big glove where the ball was, and when he went to grab it, he just couldn't find it.
Well, with one hand, didn't he, though? That big glove with that hinged glove that catchers use now.
Say to his left, nice play, holds the runner, fires to Garvey, and Piniella is out.
Never threw a strike to him either. None of those pitches were in the strike zone. And Piniella showed him the first time up that he had to throw the ball in the strike zone before he was going to swing, and Lou is hot. He just fired his helmet in the corner of the dugout.
Brings up Greg Nettles. Crowd still remembering last night when he put on a fielding clinic here. I think a pitcher's best friend, Tom, is a hitter's imagination. The hitter starts to imagine and gets to thinking too much, and really the momentum swings to the side of the pitcher. And that was Casey Piniella. They had him played perfectly. Russell waits for it, fires to Garvey. That ends the inning. So at the end of 4 complete innings, it's the Dodgers nothing, the Yankees nothing. And for the Dodgers coming up, we have Billy North, Steve Yeager, and Davey Lopes. Joe Garagiola with Tony Kubek, Kurt Gowdy, and Tom Seaver here at Yankee Stadium. And what a ball game we have. The Dodgers, no runs, 2 hits, and no errors. The Yankees, no runs, 3 hits, no errors. A real battle as we look at Lasorda between Ed Figueroa and Tommy John.
Tommy Lasorda, no wins, 4 losses in the major leagues. But he did pitch one time in Yankee Stadium, the City Series. No Brooklyn Dodgers. Walter Alston brought him in as we now look at the Yankee bench. Walter Alston brought him in, and Tommy got to the mound, and he had tears in his eyes, and Alston couldn't believe it. He said, "I've finally made it." But since then, he's become a Dodger fan. North Yeager, Davey Lopes, to face Ed Figueroa. Could be tough play for Dan. He's going to have to get it over in a hurry, but he does to get pulled off. A few balls we should get by outside the infield, Greg Nettles.
I think Figueroa had a little extra. Watch North lose his balance when he swings. He's falling back, and he got a slow start. That ball had a little more on it than he thought.
So now it's Steve Yeager. No score in the ball game, just 5 hits. The Yankees have 3. Thurman Munson. You see, another catcher, as most do, with that finger out, gives them that extra layer of padding for some hard throwers. They'll protect their hand. Could be trouble in right center field alley on the 2-0 pitch. Piniella's chasing it down. Yeager will try for two. He'll get it easily. The relay comes in to Stanley, but Yeager holds up at second base. So the Dodgers have a threat with the leadoff hitter, Davey Lopes, coming up.
That's the problem again, Tony, of pitching behind, and we've talked about it for 3 innings, and I hate to beat a dead horse. Here's you see the drive by Yeager going between Paul Blair and Lou Piniella in right center field for an easy double. If you continue to pitch behind, and it's just a basic fundamental of pitching, and pitching is 95% of the game or 85% of the game, whatever percentage you choose to pick, but you have to stay ahead of the hitters. There's just no way to be successful in the long run if you don't.
Well, if inflation has hit pitching like everything else, it's 95%, Tom.
Dave Lopes with one out.
Like the point we made in the opening game out in Los Angeles. Pitching, you never have enough. Remember you talked about the Yankees, right? You never have enough. And this is a club, like you said, just seemed to have more than enough.
Dave Lopes fly to right in the first inning. He lined to third baseman Nettles, who made a sensational play, robbing him of a double. 2 balls, no strikes to Lopes. No score in the ball game. We're at the top of the 5th. 3-0.
Last time Lopes was up there, he was 2 balls and no strikes. He hit that line drive down to Nettles, remember?
Well, we'll have to see the way Lopes has been swinging the bat. 2 home runs in that first ball game of the World Series in L.A. if Tommy Lasorda let him go at it. He was taking 3-1. Threw a breaking ball, didn't he?
Yep.
3-0 breaking ball. First base is open. Russell, there is Dick Tidrow. Allie Howard with the jacket. He missed outside, another slider or curveball. So the Dodgers have runners at second and one at first in Lopes, and it'll bring up Bill Russell. Figueroa one time belonged to the Mets, Tom, way back when, 1966?
Yes, he did. This is Figgy's 12th year in professional baseball. Started in the Mets organization in '66, and they released him in 1968. He was picked up by the Giants as a free agent, and he was traded. Spent some time in Vietnam.
Bill Russell with a runner in scoring position tops this one foul, 1 strike.
Giants, excuse me, Tony, the Giants traded him to the Angels along with Mickey Rivers. Came over to the Yankees for Bobby Bonds in 1975.
Lopes checking the surface as we look at Yeager now at the bottom of your screen, but Lopes was checking the area, the breakaway path around first base, see what kind of start he can get. 1 strike, 1 out. Chopper hits Russell, dead ball. So Russell drops way behind. No balls, 2 strikes to Figueroa. There's Bob Lemon. 2-strike count on Russell. He hits it deep to left field, but it is going to go foul, just barely.
Got that ball up, boy, and he went for the top limb.
Wasn't a good pitch. No balls and 2 strikes that Figgy just threw.
Figueroa is way ahead in the count. Got the ball up in the strike zone. Wow. That's not a very good 0-2 pitch.
See, now after going high and tight, the old baseball axiom, now go low and away with a breaking ball. Let's see what Figueroa does. 2 men on for the Dodgers. Fastball, bad pitch that Russell went after. He really cut it loose, got a little extra. So there are 2 outs. And now it'll bring up the dangerous Reggie Smith. Smith has walked. He was called out on strikes. No score in the ball game. Each team has 3 hits. Yeager's at second. Lopes is at first with 2 down. A little high, 1 ball. The outfield playing Reggie Smith very deep. Paul Blair has swung around just a shade toward right center field. Deep enough. Piniella to the warning track. 3-run home run for Smith. Reggie Smith. He usually leads the pack out of the dugout. There's Tommy.
That ball looked low and inside. He really uppercuts it, and he stayed right with it. That perfect follow-through, and he knew it was gone. He's looking at it right now.
When the dangerous Reggie Smith came to bat in the fifth, with Lopes on first and catcher Steve Yeager camped at second, Lasorda sounded like a prophet.
Yeager and Lopes take their leads. The pitch to Reggie Smith. A drive to right field and deep. Away back. This one is at the wall. Piniella looks up. It's gone. 3-0 Los Angeles.
Could it be that big gun Smith and Steve Garvey would finally ignite? Regardless, with clutch pitcher Tommy John holding the Bronx Bombers at bay, it looked like Smith's opening salvo might be enough.
Reggie Smith, a man who entered the last part of the season, the Championship Series, the World Series, with a bad virus. Started spreading it around other members of the club. He's been playing in a very much weakened condition. For a while, it looked like he got a little bit too far under that last pitch, but it sneaked in about 8 or 9 rolls in. Hit the right field. Piniella back to the warning track, but he's got it for the third out, but not before the damage is done by Smith.
You know, a lot of people think Billy and I argue all the time. Actually, we agree on just about everything, right, Bill?
Yeah, you betcha, George.
We even drink the same beer.
Light beer from Miller's. Light's got a third less calories than the regular beer, and it's less filling.
And the best thing is it tastes so great.
No, George, the best thing is less filling.
No, Bill, it tastes great.
Less filling, George.
Billy, it tastes great.
Less filling, George.
Billy?
Yeah, George.
You're fired.
Oh, not again.
Light beer from Miller. Everything you always wanted in a beer, and less.
Been down here in the stands. I've been back at home plate. I must have had 100 people, Tony, come up and ask me, where is Billy Martin? Billy Martin is in his apartment right now watching this game, and he's been watching the series on television. He said he didn't want to come to Yankee Stadium because it might be a distraction to the players. He's very unhappy with a report in a New York paper that he called Figueroa a gutless pitcher. He sent Figueroa a congratulations telegram on his 20th win, said he's all for him, and he wanted to clear that matter up. But Billy Martin will not be at the stadium during the series. He's home at his apartment watching it. And hundreds of fans around here have been asking me where he is. That's where he is. Okay, Tony.
Okay, thanks, Kurt. It's Chambliss, Stanley, and Dent. Popped up. Yeager out in front of home plate. 1 out. That telegram that Kurt referred to, Billy said, I guess he was on a hunting trip in Aberdeen, South Dakota, and he congratulated Ed Figueroa for his 20-game season. He said, I'm proud of you. I congratulate you. I know your countrymen, your fellow Puerto Ricans are proud of you because he became the first native-born Puerto Rican to win 20 games in the major leagues. So the purported feud between the two apparently has been overly exaggerated. 1 out, Stanley. He's flying to center field. Dodgers lead 3-0. Ball 1. John now runs the count, 1 ball, 2 strikes. And I noticed when he came out of the dugout, Tom, that he was limping quite a bit. We showed that shot of his left leg, a little chopper. Good single, top hopper Say. Good off balance throw to get Stanley. Fine play by Ronnie Say.
A tremendous play on both ends. It was a do-or-die play because he gets the in-between hop. He charges it here, tried to get it on the fly. He doesn't make it. Watch his play. It's a short hop. And now as he regains his balance, watch the stretch by Garvey. And not only does he stretch, he gets the glove out there. Here's another angle on it. That was a tough play, Tony.
You can see right there the way Say got started, that he, although he is not that fast, he was very quick. That first step, he was off like a sprinter. 1 ball, no strikes to Dent. Dent has a single in the ball game. Ground ball again. Nice play by Ron Say. He's stealing some of Greg Nettles' thunder to get Bucky Dent. So 2 consecutive fine plays by the Dodger third baseman Ron Say helps Tommy John. So 5 are gone here in Yankee Stadium. The Dodgers lead over the Yankees 3-0. Coming up, it'll be Ronnie Say who made the 2 good plays in the 6th, Dusty Baker, and then Rick Monday.
Certainly Dodger infielder Ron Say's work at third base helped. Greg Nettles might have a patent on his magic act, but Say showed him some tricks of his own. Since the Dodgers' play at short and second had been less than spectacular, Say's proficiency at third and Steve Garvey's at first were critical. The Penguin might waddle, but he gets the job done.
NFL 78, followed by exciting NFL regional action. Sunday on NBC. NBC Sports.
Hope you'll tune in for NBC's NFL football action tomorrow afternoon.
Tony, on this play, it was a great play by Say, but watch how Garvey stretches out and gets his glove out there and makes the play. The reason I say that, I've seen first basemen stretch, and then they got the glove right next to their chest, so the stretch is 3 feet, and they lose it when they keep the glove close. Here's the replay again. That's the last out. Say, as you said so well, he took a page out of Nettles' book.
Ed Figueroa has been replaced by the right-handed sinker baller Dick Tidrow. Oh, did you see the movement on that ball?
See Thurman's reaction?
never saw that one before.
Not bad. He says, we'll use that one in the game.
So that kind of movement on the ball was tough. Tidrow can scare some right-handed hitters out of the batter's box. He comes from the side, and he's basically the kind of pitcher that tails the ball in to right-handed hitters, sinks at times and throws a sidearm curve and comes up on top a little more times and throws a slider. There are his season stats. 7-11, pitching as a starter, short relief, long relief. 25 of his 31 appearances during the season were as starters. And he'll face Ron Say, Dusty Baker, Rick Monday, with the Dodgers leading in this ball game in the 6th, 3-0. Say has singled to center field and grounded out to short. 1 ball on Ron Say.
You can see how he turns his hips there, Tony. He does like the ball inside. You're exactly right. He likes the ball on the inside part of the plate. He wants to pull the ball, hit that long fly ball to left field out toward the 387 mark. He's got a lot of power. Not a real tall guy, short and stocky, very muscular, very strong arms and hands.
He'll
pop his hips at that pitch if he's going to turn on it.
He did. He got a breaking ball in, but it hooks. Foul. 1 ball, 2 strikes. He showed how strong he was in game number 2 when he drove in all 4 runs, one with a 3-run home run. Catfish Hunter got a breaking ball a little bit away. In fact, it was away but up. He just extended those hands, reached for it, and he pulled it to left center field. Pulled foul again past Preston Gomez. Breaking ball inside, got away with it. So Say goes down and bring up Dusty Baker. He came from the side a little bit. I don't know if Ron Say gave a little bit on the ball, but it still stayed inside.
You know, sometimes a catcher can decoy a hitter. Now, Say was moving outside. He got the breaking ball inside, and it really fooled Ron Say. I don't know if Ronnie was peeking back and saw Munson moving outside, but possibility.
Be surprised if Tidrow wanted to throw him the breaking ball inside, or anybody. 1 out, Baker's up. Good pitch, right on the black. 1 strike. Full foul. 2 strikes on Baker. He gets Dusty Baker for the 2nd out. Right now, Kurt Gowdy, our cohort, is down on the field with a good vantage point. Curtis, can you hear us?
Be interested to see if somebody gets on here, Tony, because the scouting report on Dick Tidrow, he's got a big high kick. He can get a lead and run on him. Right now, nobody's got on. And incidentally, in that interview, Reggie Jackson was a prophet. He was afraid of Reggie Smith. Said, I'm scared of him swinging the bat, and he finally swung one.
Reggie Smith scares me. He's not swinging a bat like he's capable of. If he catches fire, he's going to give us trouble.
Thank you, Kurt. Well, Reggie got them all, 3 runs. Dodgers 3, Yankees nothing. Rick Monday, 1 strike. Blair will not have a shot at this one. So Monday's on with a base hit. We'll see now, although Monday is not a big base stealer, But with Billy North up, a left-handed hitter, Tommy Lasorda may once again test the arm of Thurman Munson and the high leg kick that you referred to, Kurt, of Dick Tidrow. North is flied out and grounded out. He's a switch hitter. Spent some fine years with the Oakland A's. He bunted with 2 strikes but fouled it off. He wasn't bunting to sacrifice, obviously. He wanted to beat it out on Nettles. Nettles is the guy that tries to make eye contact with the hitters. He says that hitters tip it off. When he sees them look down at him, it's a tip-off. And he said, sometimes what I'll do is decoy him. I'll purposely move back a couple of steps and try and set the hitter up. How's that for confidence in your defense? There he is. Ground ball. Stanley, it's the big hop. Chambliss, 3 are gone here in the 6th. The score, the Dodgers 3, the Yankees nothing. And due up for the Yankees, it's Paul Blair, Roy White, and Thurman Munson. Right here, the fans are starting to hoot and holler for the Yankees. Paul Blair, Roy White, Thurman Munson to face Tommy John, who's riding a shutout into the last of the 6th. Allowed just 3 hits. Say creeping in. Did he check? No, he didn't. Marty Springstead calls the breaking ball a strike. 1 ball, 1 strike. Paul Blair, an excellent bunter. In fact, sometime during our game of the week, Joe Garagiola has gone up to him and said, Paul, why don't you bunt for us? And he's bunt and beat it out in situations. Made Joe look good. Top foul.
He just takes good direction. I tell you, he's an underrated player.
Oh,
defensively, we know what he can do, but he's a pretty good hitter, and he does a lot of things to get on base, move runners around. When he makes an out, usually he'll move a runner, and he's a good player. I like him.
He got a big base hit in the championship series last year against Kansas City, the 5th game. Good snapping breaking ball from John. He gets Paul Blair, and they bring up Roy White. That's a tough pitch right there. That's the one where he starts it about a foot outside, and he kind of comes around the plate and catches the outside corner. 2 strikes on White. Another one, he really snapped.
You know, he just pugs along. He just goes along, and he goes along, and he throws his strikes, and low strikes, ground ball, ground. They get a couple of hits, another ground ball out of the inning. It seems to upset him.
There's the sinker ball off the end of Roy White's bat.
He's one of those fellows, if you saw him on the sidelines throwing, you'd say, as we look at Bob Lemon, you'd say he doesn't have that good a fastball, but his fastball's alive, and it isn't the speed, it's where you put it.
Moving on the ball and where you put it. Another ground ball, left throw just out of his reach. So White's on with 1 out for the Yankees, and the big guys are coming up. The money players, Munson, and then Jackson. Should he do something?
You know, Tony, there's 3 elements that we're talking about where you put it. Joe's good comment. There's velocity, there's movement, there's location. And Tommy John is the prime example of the one thing that you need least of those 3 elements is the velocity. If you've got movement and location on your fastball, you can be a winning pitcher in the big leagues. And Tommy John, Randy Jones is another prime example of that fact.
I know, Tom, when you talk movement, you're not just talking sinking, sailing, taking off. You're also talking change of speed.
That's exactly right.
So 1 out. Munson's up. White's in first. The Yankees down by 3. A nice stop by Yeager. There's no one throwing at this time in the Dodger bullpen, but we see some stirring. Chopped it. Another good sinker ball. 1-1. 2-1 to Thurman. Change speeds a little bit on the sinker. 2-2. 3-2. Terry Forster, the left-hander for the Dodgers, the hard thrower, the man with a hard slider. In game 1, he relieved Tommy John. Another former White Sox player. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. White's at first, Munson the hitter. The Yankees trail by 3. We're in the last of the 6th. He won.
Already today, and it's obvious by the reaction of the fans here in Yankee Stadium what they're after.
Tom Lasorda Lasorda looking on a little worriedly along with Red Adams, the pitching coach. 1 out. White's at second. Munson is at first. Jackson represents the tying run for the last of the 6th. Reggie grounded out and struck out so far. One ball. Curveball, 1-1 to Reggie.
That was a great shot of Tommy John as he looked at second and then looked at Jackson. You could see him grit his teeth. He was going to throw that for a strike where he wanted it. A good study of concentration. Watch him.
Coming on, 1-1 pitch. Got him high and tight. Reggie has gone to a little bit shorter back on Tommy John because he expects the ball in here, but he swings right through it. 1 ball, 2 strikes on Reggie. Look at the reaction from Yeager. Dodgers 3, the Yankees nothing. Oh, base hit, almost gets Thurman Munson. White will score, 3-1. Jackson keeps it going. They're 2 down, it's Lou Piniella.
John's been keeping the ball in on Reggie real well all day. He got that ball out over the middle of the plate. Reggie had a good swing in it, pulled it right in the hole, and the Yankees are on the scoreboard.
Then Reggie Jackson stepped in. Jackson had planted a Tommy John fastball over 400 feet in Game 1. This time, he stroked a clean single to right. A determined Roy White scored, and the Yankees were on their way back.
There it is, a typical home run swing, but he topped the ball a little bit. He shot a bullet through the infield, and Thurman Munson might, I'm saying might, have been able to go to third base if he did not almost get hit by the ball and almost go to his knees. So Lasorda leads. He's going to stick with Tommy John. There is Rick Roden, number 36. He's joined Terry Forster, the left-hander. So Piniella's up. He's grounded to third twice. It's a 3-1 ball game, Dodgers. The Yankees have been on first and second base. Very dramatic moment in Yankee Stadium once again. 1 ball. Munson at second for the Yankees. Reggie Jackson at first. He's had an RBI in every game in this series. 4 games, 6 RBIs. Whoa, right and roughly dropped the ball. Are they going to get 2? There, he threw it away. Going to hit Reggie. Hit Reggie. Confusion on the bases. Here comes Munson. He's going to score for the second run. There's a lot of confusion. The ball hit Russell's glove. It then hit the ground. Reggie Jackson was forced out, but then on a throw, that was the second out of the inning. On the throw to first base, they're saying the ball hit Reggie. It is a complicated play because Reggie is out of the play, and yet the ball might have hit him, scooted away, allowing Munson to score. That is Frank Pulley, the first base umpire in blue. He's with the National League. Joe Brinkman, the umpire from second base. He is in scarlet, and Lasorda wants a ruling. The entire Dodger team. Here it is, Joe.
Russell, now there's the force on Jackson right there, so Jackson's out of the play, and it hits him. He's right in line, and Jackson is thoroughly confused. He's still in first base. He doesn't know what to do. Piniella is entitled to the base unless they rule interference. Now here's the ball again. It's hit to Russell, who knocks it down. And now he steps on the back, forces Jackson. You saw the umpire motion safe. I'm sure it was on the ball that was hit. Nothing else. And they've got a meeting out there. Looks like an election coming up. There's so many people between first and second.
They got a summit meeting out there is what they've got. Almost every Dodger's around there and all the umpires.
Look at that. Everybody is reaching for the ball, and finally
I'll tell you what,
into it.
He let it hit him purposely, and I've got to believe they're going to, well, I don't know what they're going to do, but if it is ruled intent, I think, we'll have to check the rule, I think that they could rule that runner out as he intentionally looked like he got in the way.
He was leaning, there's no doubt. We'll run it again, and you'll make up your mind. And Lasorda is really upset, and you can't say that you blame him.
Reggie Jackson, from our replay anyway, looked like he stuck that hip out to allow the ball to hit him purposely, which would have been the third out.
I don't think there's any question he did.
Watch this now.
He's confused. He doesn't know if he's out or whatever. He can't watch the call, but he'll move into the ball, certainly. Now, the play before that, the line drive that was hit to Russell, he can't intentionally drop the ball. It's a judgment on the umpire's call of the play. He can't intentionally drop that line drive to set up the double play. It's a judgment play for the umpire, but he did. And Lasorda is livid. He is absolutely livid.
I'll tell you what, the football people have talked anyway about using replays. This is a play here, and we've got a much better viewpoint than the umpires do after showing you 3, 4 different angles. But to me, it appeared that Reggie Jackson intentionally tried to deflect the ball, which appeared again, and I'm not hedging my bets, appeared to be a double play throw right there. When he throws this ball, Russell, that's the second out. Munson is rounding third in the meantime. Reggie now sticks the hip out. It would have been the third out when he deflected the ball by sticking the hip out. We think intentionally Munson would not have scored, but they've ruled it that Piniella's on first base. There should be 2 outs. They're changing the scoreboard now, but the score, the important thing, is now Dodgers 3, Yankees 2. A tough call for these umpires. They consulted among themselves, and now it's Nettles up with Piniella at first.
They're going to get it straightened out.
They still have just 1 out, Joe.
Can't be. Reggie Jackson was forced.
I'll tell you what, Pulley right now is calling.
It's got to be 2 outs.
Umpire. Before a pitch is thrown, they may want to consult. It's got to be 2 outs.
It's got to be 2 outs. Because that's one of the things that compounded it. Jackson was actually out when Russell stepped on second. And Jackson leans into the play. Well, on a pregame show, we talked about arguments. Here it is, the first one.
Nettles. 1 ball. They still have just 1 out on the board. But Jackson was forced. And the ball hit to Russell. Nettles hits this one. Should be easy for Lopes. 4-3. They retire the side, but it's now Dodgers 3, Yankees 2, and we'll see Reggie Jackson again on this replay.
Now watch, that's calling the ball in play. Now look at Jackson, he sees it and he leans over there. You can't blame him, he's out already, so what's the difference? What he tries to do, and he got by with it, it paid off. But it certainly looked like he leaned into it.
There's your score, 3-2 Dodgers versus the Yankees. The Dodgers lead. 6 are gone, and we'll be back after these messages from your local station.
Reggie on first. Thurman Munson on second. And sweet Lou Piniella at the plate. Tommy John trying to hold a 3-1 lead. The stage is set for the biggest play of the series. Russell drops the line drive, gets the course at second, but hits Jackson with a relay to first, and Munson scores from second base.
He's got it away in the middle. He's got to get out of the way. Right here. Yeah, but he's got it away in the middle. He's got to get out of the way.
Wait a minute now, Tommy, right? You call Reggie out at second. Right. The guy's
He can't stand in front of the way.
Wait a minute. He doesn't hold it. Wait a minute
He
now.
can't stand in the way.
Tommy, throw him ball. Hold it.
He stood right in the way.
Try to get it. Tommy, listen. First of all, the ball's a line drive, right?
Yeah.
To Lasorda, the very act of Jackson standing in the path of Russell's throw constituted interference. But National League umpire Frank Pooley ruled no wrongful intent, therefore no interference. The Yankees creep within a run.
Okay, Garvey, let's move it. But, Tom, I'm hungry, and my Swanson Hungry Man entree tastes so good. It's meat and potatoes and plenty of meat. How about dessert? Oh, you want a Hungry Man dinner. Look, dessert, vegetables, and the second helping of meat is already in. Good eating. That's Hungry Man dinners and entrees.
Hey, play ball!
Swanson Hungry Man dinners and entrees. The second helping of meat is already in.
Not only did Reggie Jackson have a little bit of larceny, but watch now Bill Russell. You can see that he gets the ball, drops it to the ground. Now, that looks like pretty intentional to me. That's my opinion. Now, you can't do that. You can't decoy the runner, get the line drive, throw it into the ground in hopes of getting the double play. So I think we got a little bit on both ends.
You can let the ball hit the ground first and trap it.
If you want to. You can't let it line drive hit your glove and intentionally let it hit the ground.
Right. Well, we had a rhubarb, and it's 3-2 Dodgers. Line drive foul. Tell you, Tom Lasorda really upset. Well, everybody. Big games. A lot at stake here. Bob Lemon. Strike two. The scoring on that play was an error to Russell, a fielder's choice, no RBI.
And an assist for Reggie Jackson.
Right. That's the score at top of the seventh. Yeager got a double in that fifth inning. It was on when Reggie Smith hit the home run. Takes it low for ball one. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Nobody on, nobody out. 3-2 Dodgers lead the Yankees in the seventh inning.
Munson really moving around, giving good direction to his pitcher here.
That is the third strikeout for Tidrow.
You can see before that pitch, Joe, he told him to get the ball down the strike zone, and he wanted his hand on top of the ball. Thurman, one of the best in the business at directing a pitcher. Telling him what he wants done with the pitch, where he wants it, reminding pitchers that they've got to stay on top of the ball, keep the elbow up or whatever. He's like a little general back there.
He knows his pitchers so well that if they start to lose it, like he told Guidry, in the first inning he didn't have his good stuff. This is Davey Lopes. He's 0 for 2. He walked and was on when Smith hit the home run. Ball one. There he is. Right field. Piniella waiting. 2 outs. Chambliss, Stanley, and Dent will be the hitters in the bottom half of that seventh inning. Yankees trail by a run. 3-2, Dodgers lead. 2 outs, nobody on. Bill Russell. More hits than any player in this series. Bill Russell. There's another one. Kurt Gowdy picked him before the series started, so he is really making... I mean, he talks about Reggie Jackson being a prophet. How about Gowdy picking him?
One thing about Russell, he doesn't walk much, he doesn't strike out much. He has excellent bat control. He doesn't try and pull the ball. He might in situations. Goes the opposite way well. He protects Lopes, tough situations.
I wonder if he was just telling the coach to keep him there and don't be starting him. I want to get some free swings here. There are 2 outs. Let's not try any trick plays. He was motioning down to Preston Gomez, the third base coach. There's the Goose Gossage. With a good cut of the fastball and fouls it back. Reggie Smith, he walked in the first inning, was called out on strikes in the third, hit a 3-run homer in the fifth. Out of play, strike 2. Now we'll see the battle of Tidrow and Munson against Reggie Smith. They've been pitching everybody away, and with 2 strikes, he'll be taking a shot at that outside corner. You can't take it for granted. You got to protect that plate. like that pitch. He took something off.
Yeah, it was a screwball, I think, Joe. Got Reggie way on front. Reggie, good left-handed fastball hitter. Got good screwball, got him out in front. Good strikeout pitch in that situation. Protecting the plate. Doesn't want to get the fastball by him. Almost got it.
Way inside. He set him up with that screwball and was about to saw that bat off in his hands.
Pretty good comeback pitch right there.
Yes, sir.
That's the extra pitch that Tidrow needed to get left-handed hitters out. He drops down a little bit, and with that flat, little tailing fastball and slider, he needed the screwball.
There goes the runner. Piniella charging hard, makes the play. So Reggie Smith flies to Piniella. That ends the 7th inning. The Dodgers do not score. So as we go to the bottom of the 7th, it is Los Angeles 3 and the Yankees 2. Well, the umbrellas have come out once again here at Yankee Stadium. The weatherman said a front would be coming through. It might misses. Just drizzling. The fans are prepared.
Joe, we may as well clear up at least the first part of that controversial play and read your rules. Those of you who have a scorebook, it's Rule 605. It says a batter is out when. We go to the next page, and I'll find it. An infielder intentionally drops a fair fly ball or line drive. And in the judgment of the umpire, they did not think that Bill Russell did it intentionally. So the umpire's judgment was involved in that section, the same as it was on Reggie. Did Reggie have intent or not? They did not think so. So the judgment was there, and the umpires stand by their judgment and say no in either case.
Okay, Chris Chambliss with the count of ball 1. There's the strike. 1 ball, 1 strike. Bottom of the 7th inning. Chambliss bounced out to the shortstop in the 2nd. He popped to the catcher in the 5th. Ground ball, Lopes backhands it. 1 out. Davey Lopes signals 1 out, and there's his shot of the sky. And it is pretty dark. And I guess you're supposed to say those are ominous clouds. That's the only kind of clouds I ever hear about. Weatherman said we may get some more rain, but right now it's Fred Stanley. Outside, ball 1.
Tom, it seems like Tommy John has thrown a few more pitches up to this point of this game, doesn't it? He's been behind more hitters than he was the first time.
Well, I think that's because the Yankee hitters are walking up there taking a lot of pitches. You know, there's Red Adams on the phone to the bullpen. That's the Dodger pitching coach. The Dodgers have been taking more. Pardon me, the Yankees have been taking more pitches. That's the way Piniella established when he first went up there. Tommy, you're going to have to throw the ball in the strike zone. We're not going to swing. Definitely has been behind more.
2-1 pitch. Ground ball. Bill Russell, a big hop. 2 outs. Tommy John appears to be working just a little bit faster, too. He's getting that ball and throwing it. Here is Bucky Dent. 2 outs, nobody on. Bouncing ball. Bill Russell, big hop. In time, it's a 1-2-3 inning for Tommy John. 3 ground balls at the end of 7. It's the Dodgers 3, the Yankees 2. Coming up, Steve Garvey, Ron Cey, and Dusty Baker. Here's Garvey. Strike 1. Tidrow came on in the 6th, and he has struck out 3. He's allowed 2 hits. Ball, 1 strike.
Well, I've been surprised watching Garvey through this series and championship series. He swings at quite a few bad pitches.
He'll swing at a lot of pitches, bad breaking pitches down in the dirt. Ever since Lasorda wanted him to try and hit the home run ball, you know, he's become much more aggressive.
There's the strike.
In fact, I asked one of the Dodger pitchers, one of their starters, in fact, I won't reveal his name, how he'd pitch Garvey, and he said, I would never throw him a strike. From fastballs up out of the strike zone and the breaking ball down low around, mid-calf.
1-2 pitch. Left field. White has room. 1 out.
course, as good as Garvey is, he would adjust sooner or later and get his 200 hits and 500 runs.
That's why I was looking at you.
Theory.
Kind of funny.
I know.
Yeah.
That's a good theory.
I think I'd pitch him up and way and bad balls up from the bench too. But if in the batter's box, I'd be a little careful because I think Garvey could hit 280 with just his arms.
You know, you try that, Tony. You're exactly right too. You try that throwing, and he'll just sit there and wait till he gets 3-0, 3-1. Then you got to throw a strike, or else just walk him all day.
Ron Say takes it outside, ball 1.
You can't do that. Say coming up, Baker coming up. Those guys can pop one on you at any time. You know, he's going to make you throw strikes to him sooner or later.
1-2 pitch. Hot smash. Greg Nettles has it. 2 outs.
Well, an interesting shot of Nettles feeling that ball because he has been so great on balls left and right. But this is the toughest one of all. Watch this. One hit right at you. You have no perspective, no side view. You cannot tell the bounces, what kind of hops. You can't judge the speed of the ball. And every infielder will tell you the one right straight at me is the toughest. And you can see how he battled that more than even the line drives down the line or in the hole.
You know, Tony, you made the point earlier about the infield being rough in here after the Yankees had clinched the American League pennant from the Kansas City Royals. The people, of course, here in New York streamed on, tore up a lot of the infield. They had to replace some of the infield grass around the home plate area and around the pitcher's mound as well.
1-0 pitch. 1-1 the count. Fouled out of play. 1-2 pitch now to Dusty Baker. The first strikeout for Tico. He's kept the Yankees close. 3 up, 3 down. We go to the bottom of the 8th inning. It's Los Angeles 3, Yankees 2. It'll be Flair, White, Munson for the Yankees.
Hello, I'm Fred Willard. Please watch this week when I host Saturday Night Live with Devo. That's Saturday at 11:30, 10:30 Central. I'm so excited.
If you're an outfielder or an infielder here in Yankee Stadium, this is the problem you've had. Those flags are in left field, high above the facade. They are blowing out of the northwest. In right field, a while ago anyway, they were blowing the exact opposite direction. What we're trying to tell you is there are swirling currents because of this high triple-deck stadium. The wind swirls, and you have to really be careful on pop-ups at high in the air on long fly balls. Never know what the ball's going to do.
So the scene is set, and Paul Blair, who beat out a bunt in the first inning, and he was thrown out at the plate on a fine play by Reggie Smith as he tried to score. Yeager made a fine tag, so Blair 1 for 3. Say is even with the bag. Blair can bunt, likes to bunt. Ball 1. Ball 2. I'd say at third base now, Joe is right on the line. So is Garvey. They're protecting against the double. Late in the ball game. Strike. 2 balls, 1 strike, nobody out. Bottom of the 8th inning. Dodgers 3, Yankees 2. Strike 2. Blair doesn't believe it.
It's tough for a hitter once you make that move in a bunt situation. He was going to try. You can see by that head going up and down, you lose perspective of the strike zone.
There's a base hit. Tying run is on.
Lasorda's on his way out. Red Adams on the telephone to the bullpen. Terry Forster's down there. Roy White, the man up, is a switch hitter. With no outs, a man on first. It's an obvious bunt situation.
They're making sure, though, Tony, because White and Hauser are having a meeting along the third base line, which is just now broken up as Lasorda is out there talking to Tommy John. There's Hauser walking back to his coaching box. That's Terry Forster.
Forster came in to relieve Tommy John in game number 1. He struck out 3.
So, Tommy John waits for the new pitcher. You look at Steve Yeager. We got a break in the action. We'll be right back after these messages. I know you'll be right back. You're looking at Terry Forster, indicating there comes a slider. Really comes at you. Forster relieved Tommy John in game number 1. He struck out 3 of the 4 batters he faced. He struck out pinch hitter Cliff Johnson, Rivers, and Roy White. Paul Blair grounded to short. Roy White with Paul Blair, the tying run at first base. We're in the bottom of the 8th. Nobody out. Bunted to Garvey. Called him out. Marty Springstead made the decision. The reason I waited. Frank Pulley at first base waited for Marty Springstead, who called him out.
Good sacrifice by Roy White. Garvey, as you saw, had to hold the runner on. Frank Pulley was blocked out, and the call was made by the man who's supposed to make it before first base, Marty Springstead, the home plate umpire.
So the tying run is in scoring position, and Munson and Jackson are the hitters. Probably the 2 toughest hitters in this lineup. There is Jackson. Drama right now in that batter's box. Thurman Munson. That's out of play. Strike 1. Munson, a busy kind of guy in that batter's box.
He's not just messing around straightening those gloves out. He calls himself a situation hitter. He's going over what he thinks that Forster will go with. Slider, fastball away.
Off his foot. That hit Munson in the foot. It is a foul ball. Munson fouled it off his foot. He went down. And it's strike 2.
He doesn't need any more of these bumps or bruises. Probably was that slider that was moving down and in. The pitch that usually gets hit off the instep or the shin bone.
One out, 2 strikes. Tying run at second, Paul Blair. Forster in relief. 8th inning. Hot smash! Game will be tied. Munson is heading for second.
I think your observations about Thurman were exactly right. Now, he's been up there all day trying to go to right field, and he knows Forster's going to go inside to him with that slider and that hard stuff. He just turned those hips and pulled that ball right down that line, shot it into the corner. A 2-base hit and drives in the run that ties up the score.
No balls, 2 strikes. Look what Thurman did.
Smart hitter. Smart player. And got it just after taking one off the shin, too.
The lethal Thurman Munson at bat in the bottom of the 8th. 1 out. Paul Blair at second, thanks to his single and White's sacrifice bunt. Munson covers a double to left, and Blair races home to make it a 3-3 tie.
Been on base 4 times in this ball game, Joe. Munson.
Time is being called. The fans here really going wild. And the ground crew picking up the debris. There you see him, the captain, Thurman Munson. And Reggie Jackson is the batter. 1 man out. We're tied, 3 apiece. Jackson bounced to Garvey unassisted in the first, struck out in the 4th, drove in a run with a single in the 6th. Gene Monahan looks like out there. It really got him. Looked like it may have got him on the elbow or the wrist. Can't see.
He really got drilled, Joe, with about as hard as fastball as Forster could throw. Trying to move him off the plate. They tried to pitch Reggie Jackson inside. Reggie told us that in our interview during the rain delay. Right there, right off, just above the elbow, it looked like.
Right at the elbow, torture wrist.
That's a painful spot if you get on the elbow. Hopefully you got on the muscle now, which is going to be sore. You don't get quite the damage. He really got drilled, Tom.
You know, Tony, you got to go inside with him. There's no way you can't pitch him inside. A big guy, you don't want to let him go out there and extend his arms. Look at his hand shaking right there with a glove on it. That's really got to hurt. You don't want to let a big hitter like Reggie go out and extend his arms. He's just too powerful, too big, and too strong, and you've got inside.
Lasorda out to talk to Forster. I think Reggie was trying to see if he had any feeling. Now he's going to make a pitching change with Piniella the batter. Youngster Welch was out there throwing. We're all tied up. Tiebreaker is on. There you see young Bob Welch. Tell you, can't get any closer. 3 runs, 6 hits, 1 error for the Dodgers. 3 runs, 7 hits, no errors for the Yankees. Munson is at second. Jackson is at first. There's 1 man out, and Piniella is the batter. Joe Garagiola with Tony Kubek, Kurt Gowdy, and Tom Seaver as we look at Reggie Jackson talking to Piniella. And Jackson, you can bet me, is telling him everything he can possibly tell him about that time at bat when Welch struck him out.
Well, it was Reggie when he was struck out and put up such a great battle against Welch in the second game, who went to the on-deck circle to Greg Nettles. Greg Nettles had the scouting report on the top of his head. Reggie asked him. Now Reggie passes some information along. They want to know velocity. They obviously know that Welch throws hard. That they know for sure, but there's some little tip about how his ball might move. Does it usually take off? Will it sink? Will it tail away a little bit or into a right-handed hitter? Any little tip might help you when you haven't seen a guy.
'21-year-old Bob Welch. Foul back. This is the second series game. Outside, 1-1. High, ball 2. Ball 3. He had his pitch and he went for it. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Fouled it back. May have chased a bad ball, but in a spot like this, you don't get that selective. Out of play. Foul ball. Count remains at 3-2.
Those are some tough pitches that Piniella's found out. That high fastball, it's really taking off. One high and tight, another one just a little bit over the plate.
Same way that Jackson did in L.A., remember? 3-2, same way. Fought him off.
This kid is something. 21 years old. He's going to be 47 when the series is over. Popped up. Garvey's going out after it. Lopes. Who's going to get it? Look out. They almost collide. Garvey makes the play. They rule infield fly.
First base umpire, Frank Pulley, waited till he was sure the ball was catchable within reason by the infielders and that it was going to be fair, and he called the infield fly. Piniella was automatically out.
And it's very difficult to hear anything in this ballpark. These fans are really hooting and hollering as Greg Nettles comes up. 2 outs. Score tied, 3 apiece. Bottom of the 8th. Nettles is bounced out to the second baseman. The shortstop and again to the second baseman. There they are. Munson at second, Jackson at first. High, ball 1.
Talking about a fastball hitter, Tony, here's another one that loves to swing at that fastball.
One right after the other in this Yankee lineup. You get the Munson on down through to Chambliss. Good fastball hitters.
Pulled it foul. That's way foul. 1 ball, 1 strike. In the 9th inning, it'll be Monday, North, and Yeager. High. 2-1. Foul ball. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs.
He's getting out in front on the Welch fastball. Ball is about, 6 inches inside. He still gets the big part of the bat. There's the timing device that a lot of hitters use. That right knee cock and the hand cock at times.
Dodger bench. Tense. Yankee bench. Tense. Looked like a breaking ball, and he might have got it up. It was not his good fastball. It wasn't that swifty.
It was a slider of some kind, or a curveball that he threw awfully hard.
Something, either a change-up or whatever, a slider. Great gets out. Looks like he hit it right on the end of his bat. He really went after it good, but he turned on it, pulled it foul. Looks like he hit it. Welch had him out front, hit it on the end of the bat.
See the body English there, too, right in the follow-through, trying to keep it fair.
Foul ball, foul ball. Piniella fouled off a couple pitches. Now Nettles is fouling off pitches. Look at that bench. Red Adams, the fever. That's Tidrow with the towel on his hair. Bucky Dent. Bob Lemon. Him out, and he'll get some reception when he goes into the bench. 21 years old on his birth certificate, 97 in his arm. He really came in a tough situation, and did he ever do a job? That ends it. Look at that. End of 8 innings. We're all tied. Dodgers 3, Yankees 3. There it is. 3 runs, 6 hits, and 1 error for the Dodgers. 3 runs, 7 hits, and no errors for the Yankees. The new pitcher for the Yankees is Gossage. Guys, Tidrow really did a job for those Yankees. We talked about Welch just happened, but he came in and he did a real good job.
He did the job the middle relief man's supposed to do, keep his club in the ball game. Goose Gossage now, another hard thrower. I asked Yeager. Yeager, of course, batted against Gossage in the game that he was in. And he caught Forrester and Welch. And I said, which of the 3 was throwing harder? And he said, Welch.
Is that right?
And this guy really throws hard. He's been timed up to 95 miles an hour. Forrester throws awfully hard with a hard slider.
Monday, walked in the 2nd, fly to left in the 4th, single to center in the 6th. Two strikes. 2-2. Just got a piece of it. Foul tip. Hit Springstead's chest protector. The outfield really doesn't think that Monday can pull the ball. They're shading towards left center. Behind on that one. Count remains at 2-2. Billy North. 3-2. He really put some extra into that.
That's like that pitch he threw in the All-Star game. One of those wild pitches down at the end. He was really firing that game, remember?
That got right. Munson didn't get his glove down.
No, not even close.
Munson said he's the toughest guy there is on the staff to catch. He said Guidry's ball moved, but he throws strikes generally. He's around the strike zone. He said, with Gossage, you never know. He could be wild inside, outside, low, high.
He looks like he throws a heavy ball. Ball 4. Monday draws the walk. So the leadoff man for the Dodgers is on. It brings up Billy North. North flied to center, bounced out to the shortstop. That was in the 5th. And bounced out 2nd to 1st in the 6th.
And this guy
Nettles is moving in close for the bunt.
a tough man to bunt, Joe. A high fastball, it takes off. It's tough to get the ball down on the ground.
Pops it up.
Thought he might try and trap that ball. Let it hit the ground. Because North never left the batter's box.
Never left the batter's box. Walking back to the dugout. As soon as he popped in his walking mitts, could have been an automatic double play. Just lets the ball fall.
I think Nettles thought that Monday was far enough off he could throw behind him. Had he let the ball hit the ground first, he'd have had each runner dead to right. But how can you criticize a guy love's going to walk in the Hall of Fame if nothing else?
There you see Davey, 12 for 47, 6 RBIs as a pinch hitter in 1978. And he really cocks that front leg. Tony made mention of the hitting device used by Nettles. Watch this guy, almost shades of the late and great Mel Ott. He really cocks that leg, but not near the power of Mel Ott. Tough strike zone.
I'm trying to think, was it Charlie Metro that found out about him in the Mexican League?
So was Charlie, all right.
They thought he was too old. One of the scouts for the Dodgers said, hey, listen, this guy can still hit. He was down there looking for somebody else. I think pitching help, as I recall. And he said, you can use this guy as a pinch hitter. Put him along with Manny Mota, and you've got one from each side.
Davalillo's in that batter's box now. Left field. Roy White should make the play. Monday's tagging up. He bluffs it. Roy White's throw into second base. Monday remains at first. 2 outs. Davey Lopes is the batter. Popped up. Dent's going out. Blair's coming in. Dent taking charge. Makes the play. And ends the inning. We go into the bottom of the ninth. Dodgers 3. Yankees 3. And for the Yankees, coming up, it'll be Chambliss, Stanley, and Dent.
NBC Sports.
Your man.
There's my man right there, Jerry Grody, one of the outstanding catchers in baseball. Lives down in San Antonio, Texas.
He was going to quit for a while, wasn't he?
Every year, the last 2 or 3, he's been quitting. Is he doing it again?
Well, he went over to the Dodgers last year from the Mets and has been thinking about retirement. It's such a valuable property because he's such an outstanding defensive catcher. He's staying around. His wife Sharon and the kids are here up from San Antonio.
Jerry Grody is catching. Bob Welch is the pitcher, and Chambliss leads it off. He's 0 for 3. 0-1. Young Welch came on in the jam and got Piniella to pop up and struck out Nettles. 1 ball, 1 strike. 3-3, we're tied. Strike 2. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
You can see Chambliss trying to cut down the swing of that. He's got the sore right hand, but he tried to cut the swing down and just meet the ball, hit it somewhere.
Struck him out. Chambliss is out on strikes, and now Stanley is called back, and Jim Spencer is coming out of the Yankee dugout. I think if Chambliss would have gotten on, Stanley probably would have stayed in the game to bunt him over, but Chambliss out on strikes. Here is Spencer. Yankee fans must be thinking of Ryan Doran watching that. All the way back to the screen.
I guarantee you, Jim Spencer's thinking about it right now.
1 ball, 1 strike. Off the handle, out of play, 1 ball and 2 strikes. It's like a pitching machine. He just gets the sign and comes at you.
Amazing composure that he has had coming in 2 absolutely pressure-packed situations. The game out in Los Angeles against Reggie Jackson, and then here he comes in and runs the count to 3-2. Just 21 years old, pressure-packed, still has that composure to be able to throw strikes.
Little looper. Say's giving the chase. It is a foul ball. He just fought that pitch off. He was completely fooled. It was a breaking ball, an off-speed pitch, and at the last minute, Spencer just muscled it out that way, and for a while, it looked like it was going to be big trouble.
You got to look for fastball off this guy. There's Bobby Welsh, there's no question, and he is fooled by the breaking ball. Just kind of flipped it over Ron Say's head, but it drifted foul.
1 ball, 2 strikes, 1 out. Bottom of the 9th. Tie score. Struck him out. That's the 3rd strikeout for Bob Welsh. Spencer is out on strikes. Here is Bucky Dent. Boy, I tell you, the way this guy's going, they're going to give him a rocker in the telephone booth so he can change uniforms. He has been something. Pressure packed. He got Piniella and struck out Nettles, and now he struck out Chambliss and Spencer. Strike.
Started him off with a breaking ball. He's getting a little tricky out there. I think he's shown them in 2 appearances about 3 or 4 breaking balls, and that's it. But they still can't catch up to his fastball. They're looking for it.
None of it, too.
Should be an easy play. It is. Billy North hauls it in. 3 up, 3 down. We have extra innings coming up as we're tied 3 apiece. Dodgers and the Yankees, and it'll be Russell, Smith, Garvey, the middle of the lineup for the Dodgers. We've got a new second baseman for the Yankees. Brian Doyle is going in. There you see him. And Bill Russell, who is 2 for 4, leads it off. Center field, Paul Blair should have no problem. 1 out. Brings up Reggie Smith, who hit a 3-run homer. I'll tell you something, boys, that play by Reggie Jackson, he gets a lot of publicity with his bat, but that play looms bigger and bigger when he was hit by the throw.
How about the play this guy made? Throwing out Blair.
Well, that was
right
the play,
there.
but Jackson's play, it's got
a little intrigue.
There'll be some explanations to that one. He was going for downtown, didn't get it. 1 ball, 1 strike. There'll be all kinds of explanations and reasons given, and it all boiled down to judgment. Left field out of play. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Gossage. He just gets the ball and throws as hard as he can for as long as he can. Struck him out. That's the first strikeout for the Goose. So there are 2 outs, nobody on. Steve Garvey, the batter. Out of play, foul ball. Didn't get around on it. He is really fogging.
You've got 2 guys that come out of the bullpen in this game late. And are just fired, nothing but express up there. Gossage and Welsh, and it's all fastball. A couple of curveballs to Bucky Dent, where you couldn't get hurt, but to the big guys that can hurt you, it's all number 1.
Like he wants him to go way outside off the strike zone. Is that what Munson was saying, Joe? You see that right hand? He's way out the strike zone.
He doesn't want him to make a mistake and come in with it. Hit that outside corner. We're going to miss it. Way out there. Slider. and he may come back and do it again and then get him on the 2-2 pitch. It'll be interesting to see how he works him. There he goes again. He wanted it outside. He's going for that corner. 1-2-3 for the Dodgers in the 10th. We go to the bottom half of the 10th. We're all tied. Dodgers 3, Yankees 3, and coming up it'll be Paul Blair, Roy White, and Thurman Munson.
Rich Gossage, whose tireless right arm keyed the Yankees' late season comeback, makes his second strong relief appearance of the series. He scorches Dodger Reggie Smith. Then repeats the favor against the luckless Steve Garvey. Dodger wonder boy Bob Welch matches the Gossage heat. He burns Nettles. A hurting Chris Chambliss feels the flame. Then it's pinch hitter Jim Spencer's turn. Extra innings, middle of the 10th. Still 3-3.
56,445 here. Bottom of the 10th, and Mickey Rivers has come out as a pinch hitter. The crowd really reacts. Say moves in close at third. Foul ball. Rivers 3 for 8 in the World Series. There was an extra inning game in last year's World Series. Game number 1, Yankees won it in 12 innings, 4-3 at New York. Look at Ron Say sneaking in. Popped up behind the plate. Grody's coming near the stands. He has a play. He makes it. Rivers fouls to Grody. 1 out. Batter is Roy White. White, a very key bunt in that 8th inning. When Blair singled, White moved him along, and Blair scored on a double by Munson. The bunt will get lost in that box score, but that was the big one. Strike. 1 out, nobody on. 3-3. Good fastball, strike 2.
I guess it's going to be who weakens first between Welch and Gossage, and neither one's showing signs at this point. They're really throwing hard.
You can hear that glove pop up here. And Grody's using a pillow. I know that glove doesn't pop. One of those soft ones.
Real small one, too, Joe. Like small pocket, and the ball gets in there, it stays out. This is probably the smallest glove of any catcher in the big league.
2 balls and 2 strikes.
Trying to settle his young pitcher down. So right here, no problem. We got 2-2, 1 out. Make a good pitch. Still in command.
Ball 3.
There's a little touch of experience for you right there. Did you see Grody take that ball out, rubbed it up, make sure he let Welch just relax a minute, take a little bit of time. Big pitch here. Don't want this guy in first base. Make him hit his way on. You don't want to walk him.
Foul ball, fastball.
Observations, Tony, about these 2 guys coming out and throwing nothing but heat is exactly correct. And it could be a story of who weakens first. Welch is throwing with an injury to his rib cage on the right-hand side, and it had bothered him, not the other night, but he has had some trouble with it.
Thurman Munson with Reggie Jackson on deck. 1 man out. Score tied, 3-3. There he is. Reggie Jackson. It was the confrontation. Jackson against Welch. Welch struck him out.
And Joe Welch better not take Roy White for granted down at first base because he got a pretty good lead on that first pitch. A little bit walking.
Popped up in the infield. Russell saved. They're having trouble, and it stayed up there. Russell made it. They looked at each other for what seemed like 30 seconds.
I just think it's so noisy in here, Joe. There's so many people that are making so much crowd noise that they're having trouble communicating. What a rematch right here. Look at this. Young Bob Welch and the veteran, the slugger home run hitter, Reggie Jackson.
Reggie said he lost his concentration when Bucky Dent broke off second. There are 2 outs. Roy White is at first base. Right now it's Jackson against Welch again. Ball. Ball 2. Jackson is moved further back from the plate. When you see him stand up there, he's not as close to the plate as he was all game. He's back.
And don't forget, Jackson's been hitting the arm today, too. How much strength he's going to have in that arm, we don't know. He took a pretty good shot from Terry Forster off that right forearm.
Strike. Look how far back he is.
It looked like he wants to swing, Tony. You know that?
Right now, if the elbow's hurt him, that right, that bottom hand for left hand is the one that you pull the bat through. You can't get it out. He's going to be dragging it.
White stopped at second. And it's up to Piniella. Jackson continues to hit. Second base hit.
Reggie ahead on the count. Another one of those strong guys who, when they roll those wrists, the ball just picks up speed going to the infield. Lopes made a good try for it, but it just kept bounding in that overspin, shot it right through the infield.
First hit the youngster is given up. And the game is on at second base. Roy White. We are tied 3-3. Bottom of the 10th, 2 outs. Piniella against Welch in the 8th. Popped at the first baseman, Garvey. There is the ball game. Jackson is on at first. 2 outs. Strike 1. Apiece. As we get ready for Game 5, Jim Beattie against Bert Hooten. He had a good pitch, Tony.
Low ball, 1 strike pitch. Looked like it was up and away, but we'll see it again. Might have been a ball. He really tomahawked it at hard to right center, so Piniella with his hit ends the game. Here's Roy White coming off second base. North had no chance whatsoever as Hauser gives the go-ahead sign. The big cheer you hear now in the background is White scores the 4th run. Is Piniella coming out of the dugout. Look at the Yankees. It was Piniella inning. He caught a line drive off Garvey to double Russell off at second base. There is number 14, Lou Piniella, Reggie Jackson, and Lou Piniella. These ball games get any tenser. My goodness, how can they?
There's one happy fellow right there, Lou Piniella.
So Lou Piniella is the big hero. 4 runs, 9 hits, and no errors. Gossage the winner, 3 runs, 6 hits, and 1 error. Welch was the loser. We're all tied in the series, 2 games apiece as we get ready for Game 5. The final score once again, Yankees 4, Dodgers 3 in extra innings so far. Tony Kubek, Tom Seaver, and Kurt Gowdy. This is Joe Garagiola saying so long from Yankee Stadium. Game 4 of the 1978 World Series has been brought to you by Gillette Track 2. To guys who use the Gillette Track 2, no single blade will do. By Chrysler Plymouth, who invite you to see the beautiful new Chrysler Newport and discover that now you can have it all right now. And by the Miller Brewing Company, brewers of Miller High Life. If you've got the time, we've got the beer. The executive producer of NBC Sports is Don Oldmeyer. Today's World Series telecast was produced by Michael Weissman, directed by Harry Coyle. The pregame show was produced by David Stern, directed by Ken Fouts. Technical director, Horace Ruiz. Associate producer, Kenneth Edmondson. Associate directors, Richard Klein and Bob Levy. Remember, tomorrow afternoon it's NFL football starting at 12:30 with NFL 78 and then regional action. Most of you will see the Pittsburgh-Cleveland game before 80,000 screaming fans in Cleveland. Check the local listings for the game in your area. And then at 4 o'clock, it's World Series game number 5 as the Dodgers and the Yankees continue the battle here at Yankee Stadium. And we'll be back in Dodger Stadium on Tuesday night, 8 o'clock Eastern Time for Game 6 of this exciting World Series. 4-3. Yankees win it. We're tied 2 games apiece.
Piniella, one of the top 5 hitters in the American League this year, swinging the bat, waiting. Here's Welch's pitch. Line drive, base hit, right center field. Here comes White. North doesn't have a play. The Yankees win.
What are you going to say that hasn't already been said?
And the team that has returned from the dead so many times this year has done it again to deadlock the series at 2 games apiece.